back. My name is Xander Clemens here alongside me, Ron John Eversole. Ron, we've been treated to some great racing action. It got condensed into a few less days due to some looming inclement weather. But man, what a beautiful day here. Let's take a look at the racetrack here. We're live from Pompano Beach, Florida, here at the Isle Casino Racing Park. And man, this new layout that we've had here this year, a couple tweaks to it, have provided for some awesome action through 2 full rounds of heat races. Pre-finals are on deck. They're going to be coming up next here. Ron John, again, the racing's been great. One special announcement here. You already called it off the air. We got to give him a little bit of love on the air here. We got a special birthday here in the house today.
Yeah, Chuck Yoder, our race director, celebrating the birthday today, and we just wanted to make sure that we wished him a happy birthday. I know he's going to have a great day out there for us today. Keep an eye on everything, and happy birthday, Chuckles.
Yeah, happy birthday here to our race director, Chuck Yoder. He's a part of an awesome team that helps make these Rock Cup USA events go and the Florida Winter Tour all together. Over 225 drivers. Garrett Potter talked with him, the official count, 227. So I stand corrected. I said 200 plus. I mean, I wasn't wrong, but that number's even higher than where we thought we were. So 227 total entries here in Pompano Beach, Florida.
Fantastic.
So awesome stuff here. Let's talk about some of the notes here from the racing. Obviously, for the most part, we were pretty good yesterday. We did have one red flag incident. Unfortunately, Miguel Mir, from what we can tell, he is okay. Did get transported to get a little further evaluation, but was up under his own power instantly after the wreck, just trying to check for a few more minor bruises.
Yeah, that was great to hear that he actually wasn't too bad at all. Perhaps a few bumps and bruises here, probably a little bit of anger there on his part. I understand as soon as they got over to him, he was already complaining, so that was a good sign. But nonetheless, we still had to get him out of here, get him going to the hospital, get him checked out, make sure he's all right, and great news, he's doing just fine.
Yeah,
a little bruised.
Yeah, a little bit bruised. Obviously, he'd love to be out here racing today. Miguel is a hardcore racer, so
no doubt.
We'll be keeping a close eye on the on-track action here, and let's go ahead. Let's take you to the starting lineup for the class we've got on the racetrack here, your VLR Juniors. Obviously, you can see on the racetrack here, we do have Caleb Gaffera getting set to lead the field of the green here. Cooper Shipman going to be lining up on the outside of the front row here for today's pre-final. We look back to row number 2. It'll be Charlie Smith on the inside and Aiden Ingrata to the outside of row number 2. Let's go back to row number 3.
All right, up next it'll be Haley Omeza rolling off in the 827. Christian Cameron up next in the 819. Then it's the 899 of Diego Ardiles. Graham Trammell will roll off in the 866 with Stephen Miller in the 873. And Mayor Denarin in the 844. Emma Scarborough will roll off in the 818. And G3 Argeros in the 863.
Here we go, green flag down to turn number 1. First pre-final of the day. Will we make it clean? We will not. One driver getting tagged around. 2 tagged around here in the opening couple corners. We'll try and keep a close tab on them as the leaders rocket out of turn 4. Look at Charlie Smith, new leader, Charlie Smith, but he'll get crossed up really quickly by Caleb Gaffera. Very aggressive start here for the Nash Motorsports EOS kart driver, but you got to hand it to him. Gaffera has made it look pretty easy and been able to pull away in most of the sessions this weekend, so he's trying to get him on cold tires early on in the pre-final, and again, set, ready, and going. 14 laps on the ticket. Cooper Shipman taking a little look to the inside, ultimately thought better of it. Here they come towards the final corner. Gaffera leads them on out there, 1 kart length out in front as they come down the front straightaway.
Once again, past the start-finish line goes Caleb Gaffera out there in front. Caleb had a wonderful day yesterday. Took 2 victories, flag to flag, both of them. We'll have to see how things shake out, as actually didn't quite get that gap he had gotten yesterday in the first lap, so perhaps the guys have found something, maybe be able to bring it to him as we continue on through 14 laps of racing here for our VLR Juniors. The first leg of the Florida Winter Tour. Pre-final underway.
Yeah, Caleb Gaffera continues to lead here, just about a kart length and a half up. Again on Cooper Shipman trailing Charlie Smith. There he goes, a little pass for second, just off camera there as they passed on through, and that'll open that gap up. So the battle for second heating up a little bit here. Shipman moving back on by on Charlie Smith, decided he'd be a little bit quicker. He'll take the train, and you can see them all file onto the front straightaway. Cooper Shipman, Charlie Smith, swap for P2. And now Shipman pulls about a kart length and a half on him, headed to turn number 3 with about 3 to 4 kart lengths to make up to the Burleson Performance Group Cosmic of Caleb Gaffera. Aiden Ingrata, Speed Concepts Racing Red Speed, runs behind, and then it should be Elio Meza rounding your top 5 couple of Iron Rock Motorsports Tony Karts, the Houston Texan-based team led by Charlie Swain with 2 of their pilots.
Actually, Xander, Haleo has actually gotten around. Meza now is up into that second position. He was the one that was actually challenging Gaffera.
Oh, you're right. My mistake. I mixed them up.
All.
Meza, the driver in P2, Shipman, P5. Apologies to the families there. So Elio Meza, you're right, Ron John. Good catch.
Yeah, he had a great race yesterday, able to get up there and almost give Caleb quite a challenge there, but we'll have to keep an eye on Haleo Meza. Went by that last time as a purple lap of 48.541 to a 48.798. So definitely picked up a bit, only 0.4 of a second behind our leader, Caleb Gaffera.
So good catch here. Again, Elio Meza, Cooper Shipman in full uniform. Iron Rock Motorsports Tony Karts, black suits, similarly painted helmets. Just a little bit different attire, a little different body posture as well on the racetrack. But Elio Meza closing in here. He has really chipped away at this lead to Caleb Gaffera. And last time by, again, you mentioned purple, 0.2 quicker. So nice run in the works here. He should have a shot at him sooner rather than later. 4 laps complete. 10 to go here in the pre-final today. Caleb Gaffera still your leader, but pressure coming in the form of Elio Meza. And he got right to the bumper there in turn number 2, Ron John.
Yeah, once again, he was only 0.2 faster that last time. So Haleo has picked up 0.2 himself right there on that back bumper. Right now heading through turns number 5 and 6.
Yeah, they'll come out of the carousel and down the back here, a kart length and a half apart. And again, Elio Meza is just kind of sizing Caleb up right now. He's got plenty of time left, and it looks like they may have already shuffled Charlie Smith back to 5th. So dropping from P3 to P5 as Aiden Ingrata was able to get by Cooper Shipman, able to follow suit. They'll come onto the front stretch. You'll see that gap from the top 2 has lengthened. And even from first to second, it's gotten a little bigger.
So the Iceman is moving his way up the field. Yeah. Aiden Ingrata, good to see Aiden once again up there towards the top of the heat. But still, what a battle going on there between Gaffera and Haleo Meza. Meza, again, like I said yesterday, really had some speed towards the end of the round. And didn't quite catch Caleb, but nonetheless showed that he's got the speed. And as we see as they come down through the carousel once again, he's right there on his back bumper. Still, though, no change there in our top 2. Meantime, Shipman and Ingrata perhaps maybe work together there 2 by 2 and make their way up there to the back bumper of our front 2 as they once again come down the front stretch, cross the start-finish line. 6 in the bank. 6 of the 14 in the bank. Looks like somebody received a little warning there as they came flying by. This time by, they'll be picking up the halfway flags. Look at that battle going on up front. Xander Caleb Gaffera has gotten all he can handle right now there from Haleo Meza. Yeah. But Aiden Ingrata and Cooper Shipman are slowly trying to make their way up there as well. Our guys just now coming through turn number 12. Once again onto the start-finish line, and it was Caleb Gaffera took a quick look over that left shoulder, see who was right there behind him. He knows he's got Haleo or somebody right there on his back bumper. Again, just the first leg of the Florida Winter Tour underway here for 2022. This is our pre-final, and it's our VLR Juniors out there right now.
Yeah, here plenty of laps to run in the pre-finals here. Nearly double the distance for a lot of the classes at the end of the day. They ran 10-lap heat races. Of course, we were fighting sunlight at the end of the day yesterday, so some of the classes, including all the way to Rock Shifter, ran 8 laps.
Right.
Micro Rock ran even 7 laps for their second heat race. So we're getting more track time in a longer session, the longest one of the weekend so far. Obviously, the longest overall will be the main event, but we're getting to feel each other out a little bit. You mentioned Ingrata and Shipman. I bet they're starting to gain, and they are. You can see on your screen, third and fourth slowly coming into the picture a little bit more as Elio Meza has just kind of hung at about a cart length back from Gafera. Hasn't really made a move or attempt at a move yet to go for the lead, and he hasn't really been super close on him. Trailing again a cart length back out of the carousel, where Gafera looks really strong, is through that sector especially. They'll come to the bus stop chicane here in the second half of that infield sector, coming out of the bus stop. Great passing opportunity right here in the hairpin, and then they'll go through the dog leg towards the final corner. And we're going to keep tinkering with this final corner cam. We had it in a different spot yesterday. Was a little bit grainy with the connection, so I wanted to tinker with it a little bit today. Moved it to the outside of the final turn. Got a pretty good view as well, but we obviously want to get the run going into that corner and then, of course, down that front straightaway. So we'll keep messing with it as the weekend goes on. That'll also be the section we'll pull drivers in the grid and the scales to come and talk to either our Caleb Smock or Jenna Tommy. In fact, our Caleb Smock is down on the grid right now getting some intel from the VLR Seniors as everyone kind of queues up here for the day. So, Ron John, we are now just 5 laps away from the checkers. Caleb Gafera's led all 9 laps, but he's been under pressure for most of it. Elio Meza keeping him honest at the moment.
He certainly has been, and I tell you, they're going to have company here pretty doggone soon, because Aiden Ingrata's been fast the last couple of laps, although it was actually the best lap for Caleb Gafera that last time by. Only stretched it out by a tenth of a second, which puts Elio Meza, like I said, about almost 0.4 behind as they head out towards turns number 4 and 5. Getting ready to come through that hairpin right there. Still no pressure on Caleb. He's still a couple of cart lengths out there on his own. But again, Aiden Ingrata, Cooper Shipman trying to work their way up onto the back bumper of the second place drivers. They come once again through the carousel. Still though, Caleb Gafera, the RPG driver, out there in front.
Yeah, Caleb Gafera starting to edge away, like you said. Set his best lap, pulled a 10th. Looks like he's going to pull a little bit more even this lap over Elio Meza, who is starting to fade a little bit at the end of this pre-final. Aiden Ingrata still getting closer and closer. He might have a shot at second, and depending on how he plays his cards here and depending on how Meza goes, they might be able to get to Gafera. Meza a lot closer than the last couple laps here through the opening sector. Here again is where Gafera's kart seems to roll the best, and this is again, I think, a section of the racetrack that really comes down to kart setup. There's not much the driver can do in a long, flat-out sweeper in the back like that. But you look at Gafera, he's able to come out probably about a half cart narrower than Meza, and sometimes usually pull away a little bit. And part of that's with the newer bodywork additions here. You get a touch of aero wash, maybe less so in these lower horsepower VLR Junior classes, but you'll get it in every division. So it's tougher and tougher each year to kind of run behind someone. As we come down the front stretch, though, double sticks coming. Meza a cart length away. Everybody a cart length away, kind of at a bubble. So 2 to go. Gafera, Meza, Ingrata, and Shipman, your top 4, headed for turn 3.
A lot of racing going on back behind these guys up there in the front, but nonetheless, the top 4 have kind of broken away from everyone. It's going to be a battle for the top 3 spots here. Right now, though, Caleb Gafera still hanging on as he comes ripping through the bus stop once again. Elio Meza all over his back bumper, though, and Aiden Ingrata is right there. Should Elio and Caleb come together, perhaps he and Cooper Shipman can slide on through there. Meantime, Charlie Smith has fallen off the back end here of our front 4 as they come down to the start-finish. They pick up the white flag. One more trip around the layout here at the Isle Capri Casino here in Pompano Beach. Pre-final almost over here for our first group, the VLR Juniors.
Elio Meza did not have a great exit out of the final corner. That flow has gone through to turns 5 and 6 now, out of the carousel and down the back straightaway. So Aiden Ingrata could have a shot at him here. He's a cart length away. Meza knows it. Little bobble there going into the bus stop chicane. Here they come on through it. Will we see a move pop out? No, not this time. So he'll hang on, safe for the moment. Meza defends nicely, comes out even. And Caleb Gafera, final corner, onto the front straightaway. Smooth sailing for the RPG Cosmic. He wins the pre-final.
Bam! Wow. Another tremendous run there for Caleb Gafera. Flag-to-flag victory in the pre-final. Took both the heat races, now the pre-final.
Yeah, very nicely done by Caleb Gaffera there. Elio Meza again second.
Great run
Let's
for
take you on
Haleo.
through here the rest of your top 10 as they wrap up your pre-final for VLR Junior. We'll see how they stack up unofficially. Looking towards the main event, Ron John.
All right, Aiden Dingrada ends up in that third spot. Cooper Shipman in fourth. Charlie Smith fifth. It'll be Stephen Miller up next in the sixth spot. Graham Trammell ends up in seventh. Christine Giano in the eighth position. G3 Argueros ends up in ninth. In 10th, it's Diego Ardiles. But congratulations, Caleb Gaffera, your pre-final winner.
Well, more action to come here live on Kart Chasers. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. The Rock Cup USA Florida Winter Tour continues to roll on here. The paddock is full, and everyone's trying to find a place to watch. VLR Senior up next after this.
With over a decade experience in the software development industry, Novus Web is your choice for custom development, systems with artificial intelligence, and e-commerce website design. If you're ready to make your online presence known, look no further than novusweb.tech. Parallel USA, a top-level performance team with unmatched hospitality, offering a full-service driver development program with year-round testing available in Miami, Florida, and the official North America racing team of Parallel Racing Chassis. Chassis and parts available at ParallelinUSA.com. If you're looking for top-grade equipment, look no further than Rev Performance Materials, engine mounts, sprockets, and arcade chains. Available online now at RevPerformanceMaterials.com and through a dealer near you. The highest quality material, built to the highest quality standards. Rev Performance Materials.
Welcome back here live from the Isle Casino in Pompano Beach here. Everyone trying to find a place elevated to keep an eye on the racing action. You got RVs in the paddock area. Everyone's just getting up high, trying to get a good look over the barriers. Of course, the temporary racetrack here with the carts as low as they sit to the ground. You can see it on the cameras. It is tricky, especially when you don't have multiple angles around the racetrack. You're just trying to find from one place to watch there. Cool shot, of course, for a few standing on the RV. And again, we've got the full shot on the mechanic stand right there. Everyone lining up to watch your VLR Seniors getting set to go green here. Ron John, we've got the starting lineup. Let's take them on through it.
Let's see if we have it. Nope, it has not come up just yet on mine. I'll once again refresh my screen. See if our lineup has been posted. Nope, we're still looking at the VLR Juniors. We'll wait for them to post up our lineup.
Here, let me see. I should be able to grab it
it.
over on mine. We'll get us our starting lineup and get set to go racing here. You can see the VLR Juniors making their way into the scale line. So again, they will go ahead, make sure they all pass post-race tech inspection, barring any potential penalties. Looks like it was a pretty clean and green race outside of that turn one skirmish. So I can't imagine you'll see much movement on the starting lineup there, especially inside what your top four ended up. So let's go ahead here, and we've got your pre-final VLR Senior grid starting on the front row. Of course, right there, perfect in frame. It's the Go Win Races Tony Kart of Jeremy Fletcher. He lines up to the inside of Rawls and Performance Group's Wes Duchak. And we move back to row number 2. It's another pair of RPG Cosmics, Chase Ann and Grace Hemmerd. Row 3, Ron John.
Rocco Pascarella, the 995, along with Grayson Brzezinski in the 984, Larry Pegram, 973, and Adam Ali.
Moving back to row number 5, here Eduardo Canizales and Nolan Allison. In the RPG Cosmic, Nolan, of course, had that problem in the opening heat race where he ended up having an issue that's put him in more points than good. He rolls to the outside of row number 5. Keep an eye on the 919 to make some move forward, or make some ground up moving forward. Riley Pegram and Jonathan Ocasio make up row 6. Row 7, Ron John.
Daniel Ali and Nicholas DeAndrea. Of course, Nicholas had a tough day yesterday. We'll have to see how he shakes out today. Up next will be Anthony Hyman. And last row will be Brooke Berry and Cameron Steller.
17 total drivers here for VLR Senior. Jeremy Fletcher, Wes Duchak, the front row getting set to go racing here as they work their way through the bus stop, and we will line them up. Jeremy Fletcher's been dominant in VLR Senior, looking to get a little bit more in his Senior ROK debut here this weekend, but the rookie impressing here in the 100cc power plant, and for double duty again, not a bad weekend with your Senior ROK package, kind of inside the top 5 and close to podium and race winning pace. He's definitely got race winning pace here in VLR Senior. Let's see if it can continue into the pre-final. 14 laps on the boards. Here comes your field, filed and lined onto the front straightaway. Fletcher on the inside. Again on the outside, Wes Duchak, local Florida native. Couple of Florida natives on the front row. And down to turn number 1.
Green flag, we are racing turn number 1. We did have somebody go around there in turn.
That was Nick DeAndrea, got turned around in the first corner, and we've got a couple together over here coming out of it. One of the All-E brothers, Nolan Allison's involved, and we've also lost another. That's Jonathan Ocasio. Heavy damage to the Magic Card. That steering wheel, hard to tell through the barrier, is definitely cockeyed, so massive wreck over there in turn number 2, taking out 3 contenders in the midfield. But Fletcher, nice and healthy lead here to start this pre-final. He's 6 or 7 car lengths out in front through the bus stop.
Yeah, he's showing he's got the speed. Well, I did not happen to see what happened over here as they came through turn number 1, but nonetheless, definitely destroyed the front end of that cart. There'll be a lot of work to be done there. In the meantime, Jeremy has almost decided he's going to check out right now. He puts a 1-second lead out there on the very first lap. Chase Hand in third, Grace Himberg up there in that 4th position. Your RPG drivers working hard up there in that top 4. Right now, Rocco Pascarella up into the 5th. Gratian Brzezian in the 6th position. Ali up a spot into 7th.
Yeah, so again, that shakeup coming just outside the top 6. So that'll give a few more drivers the opportunity to make up some ground. We'll try and keep tabs on Nolan Allison and the other driver involved in that group, one of the Ali brothers, I believe it was Daniel Ali. So right now they are just about 4 to 5 seconds back from Cameron Steller and Brooke Berry, and should be closing in here where they should be able to get to them pretty quickly. Nick DeAndrea was able to get back going. He's in front of them. Anthony Hyman also involved, also able to get back going. But Fletcher leads, 2 laps complete here. Quickest driver, though, Chase Hand. So the RPG Cosmic, quickest on the racetrack in 3rd. He's closing in on his teammate, Wes Duchak. That could be a looming battle for 2nd. So we'll see if we can key in on the battle for P2 as Fletcher takes them through the carousel and down the back straightaway.
Already stretching out to 1.15 second lead there for Jeremy Fletcher. That Tony card has certainly been a very, very fast machine for Jeremy. Chase Hand right there in that 3rd position, all over the back bumper of his teammate, Wes Duchak, as they head to turn number 11. Our leader just now coming through 12. Once again, past our start-finish line, we've got 3 laps in the bank. Working 14 laps here in the pre-final for our VLR Masters. Senior, excuse me.
Yeah, VLR Senior here, the young bucks, 15 years of age and over, really 14 and over. Jeremy Fletcher, again, one of the younger ones on the age bracket. Chase Hand, also senior rookie. So they've sandwiched Wes Duchak, who's got a few years in the senior ranks under his belt. He's beginning, again, we mentioned his first full season with the Rollison Performance Group team. That debut came back at the Supercar, well, kind of tryout, came back in the Supercar USA Super Nationals, and then they were able to come to an agreement in Las Vegas following that event here, and started off at the Supercar USA Winter Series event at Homestead, have steamrolled that into the event here in Pompano Beach. So his 3rd event with the team, 2nd on the 2022 calendar for Wes Duchak, and nice run here in the 100cc class, putting on just a consistent showing. You know, again, Mike Rollison, you know, they've done a great job under that team, figuring out exactly what should be a good full schedule of mix of races, test weekends, to develop a driver, to get them to the next level and work with them for a long, extended period of time. Wes Duchak doesn't have a lot of 100cc experience. He came to him as just having run a good bit in the 125cc power plants, but they've kind of got him and said, you know what, let's dial things back a little bit. Let's find you a package that's going to be kind of a mid-tier, intermediate, get some results, and because it's so much different to race at the front of a pack, Ron John, than in the midfield. I mean, they're 2 different races really going on. Up front here, again, you're focused, and you see these guys, they're not passing every single lap. You know, they're not just trying to get every position they can or make it through the start and survive. you're really focusing on your craft. And of course, obviously you want some results, but just the race is so much different here. You know, there's a lot more strategy that goes involved inside the top 5 versus racing outside the top 5 where it's just kind of go all the time. Right now, for example, Chase Hand, he was closing in, has faded back a little bit, but if he were still on Duchek, he could decide if he wants to wait or go by him, depending on where he thinks, you know, would be better in the net time, whether he ends up gaining a little bit more, just saving his tires and using that up later in the session, because the VLR drivers, I do believe they are on the same set of tires all the way through to the final.
Let somebody go around right here.
Oh, that is Nick DeAndrea gone around in the bus stop.
Once again, yeah, as he was just coming into the bus stop there, just clipped, got spun around.
That is the second spin of the session for Nick DeAndrea. So not a great start to his Saturday.
Certainly not. And
I want to say Sunday. It feels so much more normal to say Sunday.
I tell you, one of the things that's kind of been somewhat surprising is the fact that they've starting to spread out. You know, a lot of times you're bunched up and such, but these last several races, seems like the first ones that can get out there in front on their own can kind of get away from everyone, as Jeremy has done, and now Wes Duchek has gapped his teammate Chase Hand a bit. So your top 3. Last time by was a 1.1 second lead. Once again, your leader goes purple, and it's a 1.3 second lead now for Jeremy Fletcher. Still though, Fletcher, Duchek, Chase Hand, your top 3. Grace Himmert all by herself in that 4th position. All right, they're picking up the halfway flags here at the start-finish. 7 down, 7 to go. Meantime, Jeremy Fletcher just now coming through the short chute here as he turns. He goes down that short little run down there, the little kink, as he goes through turn 11 now. Here comes your leader now through turn 12 once again. Head down, coming back by the start finish. Maintains that lead, 1.3 second lead now for Jeremy Fletcher. 8 laps in the bank, working 9 of 14.
Yeah, we are watching this little bit of a shuffle here, led by Rocco Pascarella in the midfield. Little pass there with Pascarella getting shuffled by the 998 of Adam Ali. So this is the battle for 5th. But we do have an interview keyed up on down on the grid. It looks like our Caleb Smock has caught up with Jed Perkins. We talked to him once already this weekend as heats up a little bit more on track. Caleb, go ahead and take it away. Oh wait, we'll here we go. A little bit of technical difficulties down there on the grid here for Caleb Smock and Jed Perkins. We'll try and get some more interviews queued on up here and ready to go in just a moment. But let's go ahead and talk about this battle we got on screen. It was getting gnarly while we were working with the audio to try and get that going. And it is shuffled all around the field here now. Rocco Pascarella, and that group has become like a group of 6 with 5 laps to go here, Ron John.
In the meantime, though, Jeremy's kind of checked out on everybody. And again, he goes right back by and shows he's got tremendous speed. Here he is again going purple. 10 laps down. 4 to go here. Again, still Fletcher, Duchek in hand. Himmard, Ali. Eduardo Canizales now up into that 6th position. Up 3 spots now for Eduardo. Good run so far. Meanwhile, here comes Jeremy Fletcher through the carousel area and the bus stop chicane. Out through that little hairpin and once again back onto that little short chute. Got a little kink in there. And they'll go through turn number 11. 12 now for our leader as they come roaring down the front stretch once again. Past the start finish. Stretch you out to 1.5. 1.5 now for your leader. So our top 3 have definitely gapped the field. That Tony kart has been an absolute rocket for Jeremy Fletcher. Kind of the same way that RPG has been for that Cosmic, that is for Caleb Guerrera. Been a fast kart. Able to get out there in front and maintain the lead. Stretch it out over a couple of laps. Realizes he's got himself a 1.5 second lead. Getting the 2 more to go.
Yeah, so there we go. 2 to go here for Jeremy Fletcher. Look at this battle again. This is beyond your top 5. Nolan Allison, again, we talked about him getting tagged in that turn 1 incident. He has gotten back into the grouping while Jeremy Fletcher continues to show the way. His gap back to Wes Duchek's kind of stabilized. I think Fletcher, again, saving his stuff. Just cruise control right now for Jeremy Fletcher in the Go Win Races number 922 Tony Kart operation. So nice and easy going for Jeremy Fletcher, coming to see the white flag this time by. We'll see if we can keep an eye on that battle again towards the back of the field, not back of the field, towards the midway through the field. There's Duchek coming by. There is Chase Hand. He has really falling back here. Fletcher by, Duchek, and Hand a couple seconds back for Duchek. It's strung out tremendously up here at the front of the field.
Yeah, he's back about 2 seconds behind the second place driver of Duchek, Chase Hand, the third place driver. Haven't talked a whole lot about Grace, the Peruvian driver from Peru. Grace Himmerd doing a great job there in that RPG kart. Been fast. And again, this group here has allowed Jeremy to get out there in front and walk away. 1.5 second lead continues as he's making his way back around. He picked up the white flag last time.
Here he comes.
Making his last turn now through turns 11 and 12. Zander onto the front stretch.
Final time, checkered flag. Jeremy Fletcher,
Bam!
VLR Senior, pre-final winner. Here comes this battle here. Nolan Allison has gone from records to nearly checkers here. He's gone by Rocco Pasquarella. Got to defend into that final corner. He will. Does he get crossed up? Pasquarella to the outside. Allison down to the bottom. I think he should have them covered, and Nolan Allison is going to pick up a couple spots at the end to get to 7th. So not only does he rebound from what was a not great starting spot in 10th,
Certainly.
got wrecked in turn number 2.
Right.
Comes back through the field here, and again, impressive run there for Nolan Allison. Let's go ahead and take him through the proper top 10, though, behind Jeremy Fletcher, Wes Duchek, and Chase Hand. That was your first, second, and third place drivers. Ron John, who do we have beyond that?
All right, ends up in 4th. Grace Himmerd in the 926. Adam Ali ends up in that 5th position. Eduardo Canizales in the 900 ends up in 6th. Nolan Allison in 7th. It was Larry Pegram ends up in the 8th position. Rocco Pasquarella gets pushed back down into the 9th, and Daniel Ali will round out your top 10. 14 laps there for our VLR Seniors pre-final in the bank.
206 Senior, 206 Heavy coming your way for your Briggs & Stratton fans. You've got both of your senior divisions headed up here. They've got a little bit of track cleanup to do. Obviously unfortunate for a few drivers getting tagged around in that opening lap incident. So we're going to take another commercial break here. There's Jonathan Ocasio. And man, heavy damage again to the 953. Got driven over in turn number 2. Rough start to his Saturday morning. He'll get a shot at redemption this afternoon in the main events. That's all coming up later. You're watching Kart Chasers live coverage of opening weekend of the Rock Cup USA Florida Winter Tour, live from Pompano Beach. We'll be right back.
Kart Store USA is a kart parts supplier that racers and retailers can count on when they need reliable advice and service. We focus on servicing all racers with honesty and pride while maintaining customer satisfaction. We carry a full stock of Kart Republic and Tony Kart chassis, as well as IAMI and Vortex ROK engines. We've also got a host of other parts available and in stock, such as products from Rev Performance Materials, Jecco Racing Seats, and more. We have a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and on top of that, if your order exceeds $200, shipping is on us. Check out all we have to offer today by visiting us online at kartstore-usa.com. With over a decade experience in the software development industry, Novus Web is your choice for custom development, systems with artificial intelligence, and e-commerce website design. If you're ready to make your online presence known, look no further than novusweb.tech.
Welcome back to Kart Chasing here from the ROK Winter Series, the first round at the casino. My name is Caleb Smock. I'm taking over Xander Clements just for a short period of time. As always, Ron John is up in the booth. Up next, we got the 206, both the senior and master level class. I had the opportunity to talk to the third place startsman of Jake Perkins. Did you know he was starting on a 20-year-old kart? He's got a 20-year-old Brava that he's running.
Really?
20 years.
20-year-old.
For some reason, his dad's got the newer kart. The kids have to get the lower end of the totem pole, I guess.
Hey, Dad. Comes up with the cash.
I guess that's the price to pay when you're the driver.
Exactly.
So going down for your starting order for senior, we got Dylan Amundez starting on pole position next to Mick Gabriel. Jed Perkins is starting P number 3 next to Ruben Careces Jr. Gregory Campos is going to start the 4th spot next to Miguel Rutez. Brian Garcia is going to start next to Alexander Albon DeCalio. Nicholas Villanova is going to start right next to him. And rounding out the senior period is going to be Ryan Manola. And I'll let you take over for the Masters.
All right, here comes your Masters on the pole. It's Matthew Del Sol in the 620. James Perkins up next in the 615. It's Jason Abrams in the 627. Jorge Ruiz will roll off in the 692 with Alexander Devon in the 629. Marcelo Campos up next, 682. Ron Ryder in the 677. Chris Doherty in the 611. Anthony Asner in the 623. Ruben Cherez, the 610. Lucas Iglesias, the 604. It's Ruben Caceres Senior there in the 655. Diego Rodriguez, 626. Justin Koss, 619. And Stuart Warby in the 685. Again, that's your, basically we would call them our masters, if you will, of the L206s. Again, Matthew Del Sol and James Perkins on the front row, and it's Dylan Amundsen and Mick Gabriel on the front row for our seniors. So here we go. They'll split them up. We'll have 2 starts, if you will. The older guys back behind the youngers. But here they come now. Caleb through turn number 11.
Yep, it looks like maybe struggling to bunch up. Leader is a little bit far ahead. I believe that is Dylan Amundez, or no, that's Mick Gabriel on the outside of row 1. Looks like they're now bunched up. See if we can get a start here. If not, we have to send the whole field around one more time. Eyes on the starter. Green flag is out there, rolling down into turn number 1, and it looks like that is going to be 4th placement. If I'm not mistaken, that may have been Gregory Campos. Moving up a couple positions, make their way over into turns 2, the first hairpin. Everyone else a bunch up behind. Seniors now taking the green flag. They're also going to make it through cleanly as they're now working their way into the hairpins. This is where the most passing can take place, but it looks like Dylan might be starting to pull away from the rest of the field.
Sounded like I heard a little bump of thunder out there to the left, and that normally means somebody might have hit the barrier, and perhaps no problem there. They were able to continue. I don't see anybody turned around. In the meantime, you're right. I do believe that was Gregory Campos in the 304 that was able to make a couple of really good moves there on the start.
I believe so.
We'll wait until he comes back around and absolutely goes by the start finish here.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe Jed Perkins is up to the 2nd spot, but again, we can get a full coverage of that when they come across the line. Here comes your leader now. That is going to be, that is Ruben Careces Jr. up into the 2nd spot. Mick Gabriel goes to P number 2. Jed Perkins up into the P number 3. Miguel Riz is now up into 4th. Gregory Campos rounds out the top 5 for your senior. So it looks like there's all sorts of passing happening on the backside of the track. We can't get a full-on glimpse here. We got to look in on the TV screen to see if we can't get a good shot. But
sometimes it does get a little rough with those numbers. I go from a 304 to it ends up actually being 344. Ruben Caceres Jr. Went purple that time, and out there in front, looking good as they come through the bus stop. Mick Gabriel, Jed Perkins now in that 3rd spot. Wondering where Amundsen has gone. He's gone down all the way into the 8th position now for Dylan. Looking at our masters, our seniors, I should say, it's Matthew Del Sol, James Perkins, and Jason Adams, your top 3. Going 10 laps here, 2 now down.
8 more laps to go. Top 3 for your 206. Starting to pull away from the rest of the field. Nose to tail is Ruben and Mick Gabriel. Gabriel all over the back bumper of Ruben. Jed Perkins not too far behind the 3rd spot. This is kind of like what we've seen before. Top 2 take away, and then it's Jed Perkins trying to catch back up. But the thing is when you battle back and forth in the top 2 positions, especially in this 206 class, usually tends to bunch the field back up because they have such low horsepower.
I love these lawnmower engines. They're the best.
Looks like a pass for the lead. Mick Gabriel now up on point. And that's going to push Ruben back into P number 2. Jed Perkins now parking out his back doors to make their way over into the dog leg for the...
And as we say that, I believe Jed Perkins had gotten around Ruben Caceres right there.
Absolutely. He is now
coming out of turn 10. Yep, ends up in that P2 position as they come down the front stretch once again. Out there in front is going to be Ruben Caceres Jr. with his head down. No, it's not. It's Mick Gabriel. Excuse me. That's right. Ruben has now been kicked back into that third position. Still no change there amongst our top 3 in the seniors. Matthew Del Sol, James Perkins. And as he comes by the start-finish, James Perkins to the top of the seniors. The 6:15 got around Del Sol here at the start-finish. So it's Perkins, Del Sol, and Ruiz, your top 3 in the seniors.
Now making their way into the quick little chicane for the first time is your new leader, Mick Gabriel. Jed Perkins right there in P2, trying to see if he can't run him down. Third spot now of Ruben Carcera is now running in P number 3, but it looks like he may be starting to fall away from the back bumper Perkins. Now it's going to be Miguel Rins, may have a chance to close that gap back up, but he's got his hands full because right behind him is Gregory Campos running in P number 5. This time now across the main straightaway for the 4th time. 6 laps to go at the line.
Certainly looks like perhaps we've got somebody else trying to make their way back up the ladder, and that's Dylan Amundsen. Last time by, he had gone purple. This time by, up a couple of spots, now residing in the 4th position. Again, we're working 10 laps here. This is lap number 4 of 10. Next time by, we'll be picking up the halfway home.
Leaders now making their way to the back parts of the track, heading down to the chicane one more time. And it looks like your leader in 2:06, that is going to be Mick Gabriel, starting to slightly pull away from Jed Perkins running in P2. Last time by, the gap was 1.3 seconds was the difference between the two out in front. Last lap for Mick Gabriel was one of his fastest, 1:54.377. Jed Perkins went at 54.806, so not quite on par with the leader. Ruben Caceres Jr. running in P3. The deficit between him and the leader is a 2.117. He is running at 55.68. Oh, looks like we got an incident on track. I believe that may be one of the seniors. That is car number 692. We're going down through the order here. That looks like that is George A. Riz. Unfortunately, he looks like he is out. I can't see any major damage. Hopefully just through a chain or something that's quick fix.
Looks like it is the chain. I can see the chain hanging down on the screen there. And real quickly here, attention in the pits, looking for Gallo Barros and Anthony Palo. Need you in the steward's office. Gallo Barros, Anthony Palo, to the steward's office, please. All right, now that I've got that business behind us.
Let's finish this one out. 5 laps to go. We are halfway when they came by this time. It is going to be 4 laps to go at the line. Still, Mick Gabriel out in point for 2:06. Jed Perkins running in P2. Perkins now is struggling last lap. He lost a couple of tenths. It was 1.6 this time across the line. Oh, we got side-by-side for the 3rd position. Got so distracted about P number 2. That is between Dylan Amundez and Gregory Campos going side-by-side for the 4th and 5th spot. Difference between Jed Perkins and Mick Gabriel now is 1.8. Mick Gabriel pulled out 0.2 of a second that last lap, getting himself all sorts of breathing room as we still are watching now the battle back and forth. I believe that was between Dylan and Gregory Campos as they are running side-by-side through the back parts of the track. They've been going back and forth almost all race long. You can see right there off to the distance is going to be Miguel Rins, not too far back. Watch this battle out in front. He might try to capitalize and take a couple positions as they make their way into the hairpins heading towards the dog leg. It is going to be lap number 7 completed this time by. 3 laps to go at the line.
I thought perhaps when Dylan had gotten around Ruben that the two would work together, but they thought none of that. They would go ahead and continue to race one another. In the meantime, that's allowed the top 2 to kind of break away. And it's also allowed another driver, Miguel Ruiz, to make his way up onto their back bumpers and try for a shot at that 3rd position. Right now, it's Dylan Amundsen, Ruben Caceres, and Gregory Campos. Your top, they ended up in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th positions. Still, Mick Gabriel out there, 2.1 second lead for Mick. Looking down at our seniors, still James Perkins, Matthew Del Sol, and Ron Ryder. Ryder now up into that 3rd position. So again, laps winding down. We've got 7 in the bank. They'll come by, pick up the 2 to go.
We're still watching. If you're tuning in, you can see on now, it's the 3-cart battle between, I believe that is Ruben Crest Jr., Gregory Campos in P2, and Miguel Rins running in the 6th position. That is 4th, 5th, and 6th, going back and forth. Your 2 leaders, Mick Gabriel and Jed Perkins, they've checked out from the field. So we're going to watch this awesome 3-cart battle as they just not make their way across the line last time by. All 3 were bunched up, now they're spread back out. It looks like that maybe Ruben had found just a little bit more than he needed to pull away, as we got 2 laps to go this time at the line. But this battle, I don't think is anything from foot over.
Just 2 more laps around. Looking for our senior guys to come by. Still James Perkins out in front. Del Sol and Ron Ryder. Alexander Gabon in 4th. Ruben Cherez in 5th. But Mick Gabriel, 2.7-second lead for Mick. And now that battle between Amundsen, Caceres, and Campos is kind of split up a little bit as our leader comes through turn number 12. We're going to pick up that white flag. And Caleb, we got 1 more trip.
That is true. Mick Gabriel now heading down into turn 1. You can see the deficit that he has created over Jed Perkins running in P2. And it looks like the rest of the field's starting to spread out as well. Dylan Amundez running in the 3rd spot has got some breathing room over Ruben Crest Jr. Gregor Campos running in the 5th spot with Miguel Rins not too far behind at 6th. Again, those 2 are going back and forth for the last couple of laps, but now we got some breathing room. And it looks like this may be a straightforward finish here for your top 3, Gabriel, Perkins, and Amundez, as they're making their way through the final parts of the track. You can see on board now your leader, Mick Gabriel, making his way to the chicane for the first time. Coming out of it, heading into the back parts of the section, also known as the dog leg. Why don't you bring him on home, Ron John? He's got about 3 more corners to go.
All right, once again, he's now heading down towards turn 11. He'll make that turn once again, head towards 12. Be his last turn. Come down this front stretch once again to take the pre-final. Bam! Mick Gabriel takes it. Jed Perkins going to end up in 2nd. It's going to be Dylan Amundsen in that 3rd position. Waiting for our seniors to come back around as well. Actually, it had looked like James Perkins had a pretty good gap over the 2nd place driver of Matthew Del Sol. We'll have to wait for him to come around. Looking for the 6:15. Here he is right here. Bam! James Perkins takes the victory. Boy, the 6:20 there, that was Matthew Del Sol. Came by the start finish here at the line with his hand up in the air, wondering what had happened. He had been dropped back a couple of spots there at the end. So Mick Gabriel takes it, the L206, and then James Perkins, the L206 seniors.
Looking at the board now, you can see that Gregory Campos has actually fallen down through the field, and it says that he pitted in, so I'm not sure if he had some sort of incident or if he may have thrown a chain and had to pull off, but he is going to finish in the last position for the 206, so I don't think that's going to help him that too much, and when we get time coming for the feature, that might be interesting to watch him try to cut up through the field. But as we said before, Mick Gabriel, Jed Perkins in a league of their own that last run. And I believe we are now going to take things to commercial break. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Still got more pre-finals to come, followed by the finals. Don't go anywhere. Kart Chaser Winter Tour continues on.
Kart Store USA is a kart parts supplier that racers and retailers can count on when they need reliable advice and service. We focus on servicing all racers with honesty and pride while maintaining customer satisfaction. We carry a full stock of Kart Republic and Tony Kart chassis, as well as IAMI and Vortex ROK engines. We've also got a host of other parts available and in stock, such as products from Rev Performance Materials, Jecco Racing Seats, and more. We have a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and on top of that, if your order exceeds $200, shipping is on us. Check out all we have to offer today by visiting us online at kartstore-usa.com. Kart Store USA is a kart parts supplier that racers and retailers can count on when they need reliable advice and service. We focus on servicing all racers with honesty and pride while maintaining customer satisfaction. We carry a full stock of Kart Republic and Tony Kart chassis, as well as IAMI and Vortex ROK engines. We've also got a host of other parts available and in stock, such as products from Rev Performance Materials, Jekko Racing Seats, and more. We have a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and on top of that, if your order exceeds $200, shipping is on us. Check out all we have to offer today by visiting us online at kartstore-usa.com. Kart Store USA is a kart parts supplier that racers and retailers can count on when they need reliable advice and service. We focus on servicing all racers with honesty and pride while maintaining customer satisfaction. We carry a full stock of Kart Republic and Tony Kart chassis, as well as IAMI and Vortex ROK engines. We've also got a host of other parts available and in stock, such as products from Rev Performance Materials, Jekko Racing Seats, and more. We have a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and on top of that, if your order exceeds $200, shipping is on us. Check out all we have to offer today by visiting us online at kartstore-usa.com.
It's gotta be something.
Kart Store USA is a kart parts supplier that racers and retailers can count on when they need reliable advice and service. We focus on servicing all racers with honesty and pride while maintaining customer satisfaction. We carry a full stock of Kart Republic and Tony Kart chassis, as well as IAMI and Vortex ROK engines. We've also got a host of other parts available and in stock, such as products from Rev Performance Materials, Jekko Racing Seats, and more. We have a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and on top of that, if your order exceeds $200, shipping is on us. Check out all we have to offer today by visiting us online at kartstore-usa.com.
Welcome back. We're about to get underway once again. Now our mini rocks are going out. Once again, I am Caleb Smock, joined here by Ron John. I'm on here temporarily until we get Xander Clements back into the booth, your beloved announcer. Now starting on pole position is going to be Oliver Weldon, going to start out in front next to Luis Umana Sanchez. Isaac Volkut's going to round out the top three, followed by Salvador Della Vecchia. Jamontian Russi is going to start behind him next to Sarah Bradley. Asher Okason is going to start next to Asen Jamalin. Devin Waltz is going to start next to Max Christia. And Carson Weinberg is going to start next to Keelan Harmon.
All right, we're going to go 10 laps here. 10 laps for our minis. We have to keep an eye on that front row. Oliver Weldon on the pole. Luis Imana Sanchez, the 177 outside pole. Also a couple of fast karts right there behind him, and Isaac Malquit and Salvador Della Vecchia. Guys looking good as they're forming up. Hopefully coming around to take the green flag here, get their pre-final underway.
And if you recall back to yesterday, we saw a good three-car battle between Oliver Weldon, Luis Amana-Sanchez, and Isaac Malcutt were out in front, league of their own, swapping positions back and forth. Rest of the field were right there, and you almost saw, I believe it was Sarah Bradley and Asher Oskin right there to try to make a move if they had a mistake. Now we're going to see the green flag get dropped. No, we're not. One more time around. Oh, we got some cars pushing and shoving already on the called-off start.
Yeah, once again, I felt like they accelerated a little too early there.
That'll be a good call by the starter. We're going to send him around one more time. We want fair starts here. No questions asked whether or not it was going to be fair going into turn one, so that's a good call. Send him around one more time. Get him bunched back up. Let him know, hey, that wasn't how you're supposed to do that. Let's settle things back down. See if we can't get this going one more time. That does give him one more lap to try to work the tires in. The sun is coming down. It is a beautiful Florida day. Probably about 75 degrees. No clouds in the sky. Gorgeous day. All that we could ask for. And again, we're going to ram things through today so that tomorrow, when the weather doesn't look like this, we don't have to worry about any hazardous weather. 40-mile-an-hour winds. Again, we don't want to see anyone's canopies start flying off over into northern Florida. So we're going to get things pushed through today with the pre-final and the final. We're waiting now for our minis to get back around to the start-finish straight so we can get bunched up. See some drivers working their tires. That's Keelan Harvick starting in the 10th position, swerving back and forth. The rest of the drivers following suit.
Young guys taking their time. Guys and gals.
Making their way into the dogleg for the first time. This looks a whole lot better than before. Bunched up, 2x2, nose to tail, just a little bit of gap between the two carts. And the one risk you got to take for starting the front row is the guys behind you may get a little antsy, smash that right foot down a little too soon, and suddenly have extra momentum when you're going into your braking zone. So it's always a big risk to take. Well, these drivers that may be young, but they are somewhat professional, especially when it comes to kart racing. They know how to handle it.
They certainly do. It's amazing how talented these young people are, considering the fact that they've never driven a car in their life, but yet they can certainly race. So let's get a good look here. Looking up at our starter, we got the green flag. We are racing. Keep an eye as the big bunch heads into turn number one. Everybody kind of tiptoeing, realizing this is a pre-final, can't win on the first turn.
Looks like we may have only one straggler, so overall a very good start. Everyone dove down to the inside on that main stretch, trying to see if they couldn't block off that inside line. Now we're going to span out 3 and 4 wide as they make their way out of the hairpins, heading towards the back parts of the track. This is the faster part of the circuit. Coming around the two big old right-handers coming down into the chicane for the first time, and it looks like Oliver Weldon's going to be out in front. Isaac Malcutt in 3. Luis Amana-Sanchez running in P number 2. And once again, we're on the start. Top 3 already starting to pull away, although Isaac Malcutt had a quick look to the inside of Luis Amana-Sanchez, heading down into that first dogleg corner. Top 3 now starting to break away, but I wouldn't count out Salvador or Giamonte as they're not coming down. Top 5 relatively close. Lap number 1 of 10 is now in the books.
All right, our leaders just now making it through turn number 1 and 2. Take that left-hander, run down that short chute, turns 3 and 4. And again, another short little run down here to the hairpin.
Here comes down to the inside.
Yes.
Amana-Sanchez goes around, and here comes Isaac Malcutt, decides to get on the action. He's going to move up into P2. Oliver Weldon's now going to fall back to the 3rd spot. And here comes, I believe that is Salvador Della Vice is now in the 4th spot on Oliver Weldon's back bumper. Top 4 now bunched up, but P number 5 of Giamonte Russe is right there, just trying to get these two to race back and forth. Malcutt went a little wide. He is now going to fall back into 2nd temporarily. No. Weldon had a quick look to the outside line. He is going to lose one more position. Oliver Weldon's going to fall back into 6th. Giamonte Russe is now going to move up one more position. We got a line of carts coming across the start-finish line.
But once again, it's allowed Luis Amana to get out there on his own, and these guys are going to continue to battle. So we'll have to keep an eye on how Luis is able to handle being out there on his own. In the meantime, though, that battle still continues. Salvador Della Vecchia all the way up into the 2nd position. Isaac Malcutt now in 3rd. Giamateo Russo 4th, dropping Oliver Weldon down into that 5th position. Again, coming down the back stretch, heading for the bus stop chicane through the middle section of our track here. Luis Amana-Sanchez already starting to stretch it out. It was a 1.1 second lead, but Salvador Della Vecchia now solidly in that 2nd position, dragging Isaac Malcutt, and I believe that was Giamateo Russo right along with him.
That is the 3 battling out for the 2nd spot, and I believe we're going to send it down to Xander Clements. Has an interview lined up for us. Xander, take it away.
off on the outside of the front row, has been challenging Patrick Otto Madsen here this week. Scott, we were talking just a bit off camera here. Your weekend's been pretty solid. Obviously, you're up at the pointy end of the field. How has it overall been going from your side?
It's been really great. I love the track. In practice, we did really well, and Mornay has been really helping me out a lot with engine and tuning and setup and all that.
And what do you think here with this track? It's obviously a lot of changes from last year. Do you feel like it's a little more racy than 2021, or did you have a kind of a soft spot for the track we had 1 year ago?
I like the track from last year. This track is a little bit better, I feel, but I love the parking lot racing. I think it's awesome. Trying to get close to the walls and not hit anything.
Good deal. Well, we'll kick it back here to you guys in the booth. It's a action-packed mini race. Hopefully Scott can put some fireworks on the racetrack, continue to put on a good show here in Shifter Master. Back to you, Caleb.
Thank you, Xander. While we were away, there was all sorts of battling happening out in the top 5. Luis Amana Sanchez continues to pull away, but Oliver Weldon has now got himself back up to P number 2, which means Salvador Velavice is going to fall into P number 3. Malkut falls back to 4th. Asher Okason is now into the top 5.
Yeah, Osser's a very, very good young driver there, the Oxtein. And right now, as you had mentioned, in that 5th position. Didn't take Oliver long to get back around and get up there to that 2nd position. Will he have enough time, though?
He held it for a moment because he goes wide. I don't know if he's having a problem or what. His hand's on his engine, slowing down the start-finish straight. And it doesn't sound like that engine's running right. You can see him trying to adjust the car. That is unfortunate to see. He is falling down the order. So Oliver Weldon no longer in P2. He continues to fall down, which means Salvador Della Vece is now up into P2. Isaac Molka now goes to 3rd. Asher Okason is now up into the 4th spot. And Giamanto Ruse is now up into P number 5. As we are now live on track, you can see Oliver Weldon sitting in this car that is stationary, and it looks like he's going to start to climb out. That is unfortunate to see, especially in the pre-final. He is going to have his hands full in the feature when he's got to crawl all the way back up through the field.
He is so disappointed. You could just tell by the way he threw that glove that it's one unhappy camper. A really, really bad result ends up there for Mr. Weldon. It's unfortunate for him as he was coming by the start-finish. I agree. I don't think that engine was even under power at all. But nonetheless, it had to pull out. Luis Amana Sanchez pulled out a 2.3-second lead over Salvador Della Vecchia. Somebody's definitely taken full advantage of that. Isaac Malkut still ends up in 3rd. It's Asher Oxtein in 4th. And Giamatteo Russo right now rounds out your top 5. But look down into that 6th position, up 6 spots. Keelan Harvick on the move.
Keelan Harvick is on the move, and we are live right now. We got a camera on both Salvador Della Vecchia and Isaac Malkut running in the 2nd and 3rd spot. They're going nose to tail, and you can just see out in the distance your leader of Luis Amana Sanchez, who has nearly a 2.5-second lead as he is now making his way on the start-finish straight. You can see the 2 in the 2nd and 3rd spot. That is Malkut running in P3. Not too far behind, though. Asher Okason running in P4 is just now starting to join the party in the battle for the 2nd spot. And it looks like Salvador Della Vece went purple with a 51.453. Your leader of Luis Amana Sanchez went a 51.612. Still holds a 2.1-second gap, but it's starting to drop ever so slightly as Malkut continues to push the back bumper of Della Vece.
Yeah, it may be making up a little bit of the gap, but I don't believe he's going to have enough time. Just a few more laps to go. I believe this time by they should be picking up the 2 to go. Working lap number 7 here. And still, Luis Amana Sanchez out there all by himself. Meantime, still your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place drivers somewhat close to one another, at least the 2nd and 3rd. 4th place is going to be Asher Oxtein. Got his head down, hoping he can make up a little bit more.
I'll tell you what, watching Asher Oxtein work their way up through the field, they started back, I believe, in the 12th or 13th position. Now they up into 4th. Keelan Harvick, who started in 11th, is up into the 6th spot. Looking down through the order, too, Fathian Serapin also moved his way up. Sarah Bradley looks like she has fallen down through the field just a little bit, holding on to P12. But as of now, we are watching the 3-car battle for the 2nd spot. As you said before, 2 laps were presented. Now we got 1 lap to go this time by. Battle for the 2nd spot between Salvador Della Vecchia and Isaac Malkut. Asher Okason not too far behind, just there to make a move in case the two out in front of him decide that they want to go back and forth. But as of now, Luis Amana Sanchez has a huge lead, nearly 2 seconds coming across the line to receive the white flag.
All right, white flag is out. As I look down the list, though, want to make a big shout out to Marco Romero. Romero up 10 positions, so a good run there for Marco, definitely making up some ground. In the meantime, though, it's still Luis Imana Sanchez out there by 1.9 second lead for your leader. Salvador Della Vecchia hanging on to second along with Isaac Malkut in third. And do believe Della Vecchia's got enough of a gap there to be able to hang on to that second spot, and I do believe that Malkut will probably end up in that third. Not so sure if Asher is quite close enough to be able to do anything with Isaac, but here they come. Leader now heading toward turn number 11. It's a 12-turn layout here at the Isle Casino layout. Here comes your leader. Bam! Give it up for Luis Imana Sanchez. Takes the victory. Salvador Della Vecchia in second, and Isaac Malkut ends up in third.
Asher Okason rounds out the fourth position with Giamonte Ruse going to finish in fifth. Keelan Harvick moves up 6 positions to finish in the 6th spot. Asen Jamalbi is going to move up into P number 7. Max Christie moves up 2 positions to finish in 9th. Carson Weinberg is going to find himself in 9th position. Fathian Sarapin moves up 4 spots, starting the 14th position to finish in 10th. And that will round out your top 10. So that was a very good run there from your mini rocks, although I think the feature is going to be interesting to see because now you got Weldon who's got to work their way up through the field.
Certainly.
You got Umana Sanchez starting out in front, but you also got Salvador Della Vecchia, who's probably going to go to town on that cart, trying to find just an extra couple tenths. They were making their way back up to the field, and you got Isaac Malkut, who is running almost identical times to Salvador. So this is going to be a very good feature you're going to watch here this afternoon. You can find it on kartchaser.com, Kart Chaser on Facebook and YouTube as you're watching it now, as that rounds out our mini rock. Up next, if I'm not mistaken, we have our Shifter Masters about to take the track. We are now going to stand by, make sure the track is okay to go before we get back underway, and I believe we're going to send it to commercial break real quick before we get going with our Master Shifters. Stay tuned and don't go anywhere. We still got plenty of racing to go here on Saturday. It's Sunnyside, beautiful Florida. It's Florida Winter Tour.
I'm Billy Vincent, owner of MPG Motorsports. What we do at MPG is we try to keep it a nice, fun family atmosphere, try to combine sort of the bigger things and of the bigger teams and the professionalism down with sort of some of the fun sort of family-oriented atmosphere. We try to not only develop drivers, but also the parents and the families for just in knowledge in general in motorsports. It all starts in karting. What we try to do is try to help the drivers, the moms, the dads understand the sport of motorsports in general, not just karting, but what it takes to get all the way up through. Whether you end up wanting to be a driver or a mechanic or an engineer, you know, we can help you with that, and that's what we're here for. If you're interested in joining us at MPG, our home base is at Whiteland Raceway Park in Indianapolis, and you can contact us at info@willpowerkart.com, and one of our great people will reach out to you, and we'll try to put the best program together.
Parolin USA, a top-level performance team with unmatched hospitality, offering a full-service driver development program with year-round testing available in Miami, Florida, and the official North America racing team of Parolin Racing Chassis. Chassis and parts available at ParolinUSA.com.
Well, welcome back here to Pompano Beach. Again, my name is Xander Clements, live on the mic here with Ron John Abersol. We are bringing you the action from round number 1 of the Rock Cup USA Florida Winter Tour. Obviously, topsy-turvy mini rock heat race there that we just concluded. Oliver Weldon, mechanical failure. It was getting pretty dicey there for a second. Lots of elbows up racing, lots of shoving. You know, we'll see if the officials say anything about it, but overall, you know, I think a pretty entertaining race.
Yes.
Nobody got hurt, maybe some hurt feelings. That's racing.
That's exactly. That is racing. Without a doubt, very unfortunate for Oliver. You know, he was our pole sitter. But Luis Imana Sanchez took full advantage of that, got out there in front and said, you guys have fun behind me, I'm checking out.
Yeah, very nicely done by Luis Imana Sanchez to be able to get away. Cool stuff for Fabio Orsolon and the Orsolon Racing Camp. We've got Rock Shifter Master on the grid here. Patrick Otto Madsen's been dominant, a great force here in the class through both rounds of heat races. Scott Presti I talked to here again, right before, says he thinks his track races a little bit better. Obviously, he's had a good weekend. Mornay's been able, Mornay Van Tok and the VTM Racing Engines camp has kind of kept him going all weekend. Of course, there's another Formula K right behind Patrick Otto Madsen, so the FK and IPK products looking pretty good. And here's a great shot over the tree line we've got here, and it's just nothing but sun here on Saturday. I mean, I'm sure everybody, again, we've talked about it. We've almost beaten it into a pulp here about how happy I can't imagine everybody must be that we're getting all this done here with beautiful, beautiful weather here in South Florida.
Well, that's what they come down here for, right? They want to come down to Florida for the beautiful sun and the just a wonderful weekend, and we've been blessed so far. And we're going to try and get this all finished today, and then hopefully get all these folks be able to pack up and get out of here safely.
Yeah, make sure everyone has a safe trip out of here. Of course, so with that nasty weather coming in, you know, we've got to give everybody plenty of time, turn the lights on, give the teams time to tear down the tents and everything. I mean, there's just a lot to do here to close off the day. But the carts are getting sent onto the racetrack, so let's go ahead, take us through the starting lineup here, row by row, back and forth. Ron John, you kick us off with row number 1.
All right, row number 1, your pole sitter. The 599, it's Patrick Otto Madsen on the outside pole. The 508, Scott Presti.
Moving to row number 2, it'll be Cole Matthewson, and making it an Ansa Motorsports 1-3, and Juan Unagaro to the outside, starting P4.
Up next will be a name we hadn't really talked a whole lot about, but a man has certainly moved up the list. The 501, Renee Martinelli. Francisco Valsallo up next in the 538.
Moving to row number 4, it'll be Daniel Devos and Mornay Van Tok, Mr. VTM Racing Engines, getting beat by his customer trying to close up the gap to Scott Presti there in P2.
All right, somebody who showed a lot of speed in warm-up this morning was Nico Rondet in the 524, and Barry Primus will follow him in the 555.
Moving outside your top 10, Hugh Templeman rolls off to the inside of Farshad Bagheri, the Magic Kart and TV Kart combination for row number 6.
And then we'll wrap things up. 7th row, Corey Matthews in the 515 and Marciano Santos in the 588. So here they are.
You can see them lining up behind Mr. Birthday. Chuck Yoder, your race director there, waving the red flag, center of your screen. He's going to get them all lined and ready before he hands it off to the head flagman, Justin Dittrich. And it looks good here. I think we should be in a fantastic spot for a clean start, barring any stalls. There's the green flag from the back of the grid. We go to Chuck. He'll signal to the front row. Look good. Look to the front starter. Your head flagman is ready. And we're away down to turn number 1. Good start for Scott Presti. He'll get the whole shot into the first corner from second. And that outside clean part of the racetrack will give him the jump as they roll to turn number 3. So your pole setter and heat 1 and 2 winner, Patrick Otto Madsen, drops back and has Cole Matthewson right there as they all cycle through. A little bit of contact to the midfield. Clean start up front. And again, a great start for Scott Presti. He leads them down the back straightaway.
Just now coming through the bus shop. Scotty Presti had shown he had a lot of speed, but so has Patrick Otto Madsen as well. I have to wait and see how things shake out. But couldn't help noticing, though, it might have been a little bit of a jump there on that start, but we'll have to go back and take a look at it, and I'm sure they'll definitely take a look at it as well. It wouldn't have been by maybe just a tad, but looks like perhaps somebody may have rolled just past that line as the start had begun.
Well, it was a good catch there, Ron John, for you to catch that. And at least here in the case of Patrick Otto Madsen on screen there, he was able to get that pass back for the lead on Scott Presti. His teammate Cole Matthewson tried to follow suit, could not do so. That will be the next battle. It will be for second as Presti a little bit sideways going into the bus stop, and now Matthewson coming under some pressure here in the form of Rennie Martinelli. He's taking a few peeks left and right there in the TB cart to try and find a way past. So far, not going to do it, but they'll roll out of the final corner. Here we are on Matthewson in the 533, and again, very close there for Rennie Martinelli. But lap 2 complete. Patrick Otto Madsen leads here in ROK Shifter Master, and we'll be sending our Caleb Smock down to the grid to talk to a number of drivers.
Again, Renee Martinelli moving up the list. He's now up into the 4th position, showing a lot of speed that time by. Hadn't really talked a whole lot about Renee, so great to see him finally up here battling amongst our top 4. He being in that 4th position. In the meantime, he looks over his shoulder and sees he's got some friends. Francisco Vasallo on his move. Juan Unigaro now in 6th. Daniel DeVos in 7th. Nico Rondit up into 8th position. Mornay Von Tock up a spot. And Fajar Bagari up 2 spots now, positioned in the 10th position for Shihad. It's Patrick Otto Madsen, Scott Presti. Boy, you got to go all the way down to Mornay Von Tock to see who the fastest person was out there. Mornay went purple, 46.824 to the 46.929 of your leader. About 0.4 of a second lead now for Patrick Otto Madsen. As they come racing down towards the chicane, the bus stop.
Yeah, it's kind of tightening up there between Madsen.
Certainly is.
Back to Presti, back to Matthewson. It looked like Martinelli might have been able to really make things interesting, but he's kind of faded a little bit here, so more to come from Rennie Martinelli, just not there at the moment. He's got a little more speed to find before the pre-final. Down the front stretch here, your top 3 headed towards turn number 1, and you can see that field just cycling on through as well. Again, all the way down, a handful of battles down the order. Your top 3 are nose to tail. Martinelli runs alone. At the end of the screen, they're running in the 5th position. That is Francesco Vasallo, up 1 spot. He's gone by Juan Unigaro in the last few laps and has pulled away a little bit. So the Burrell Art Machine rounding the top 5. Unigaro, Ronde, Debos, Mornay Von Tock. Farshad Bagari's picked up 2. He's closed into the top 10. But again, the TB carts P4, P10 need a little more to catch the FKs. And of course, the driver slammed in the middle. I believe you might be on a TB cart, but I'm not 100% sure what chassis Mr. Scott Presti is on. Headed down to turn number 1. Obviously, the VTM Racing Engine's livery makes it a little bit harder to identify. But he's definitely under pressure here. Cole Matthewson just trying to find a way past, as they've got about or maybe 5-6 car lengths back to your leader, Patrick Otto Madsen. He is inching away out in front once again. A story we've seen many times over here for ROK Shifter Master this weekend, Ron John.
Yeah, stretched it out to 0.6 past the line the last time by. Patrick Otto Madsen been very, very strong. Scott Presti has shown a lot of speed, but just has not quite had the speed to get up there and really get around Patrick. He was ahead of him a little bit, but Patrick able to hawk him down and get around him. Rennie Martinelli still hanging on to that 4th position, kind of all by himself as well now. So your top 3 have broken away from Rennie. Madsen, Presti, Matthewson, Martinelli, Unigaro in 5th. Rondet in the 6th position. Vasallo 7th. Debos 8th. Van Tock in the 9th position. And Farzad Bagari, as I mentioned, hangs on to that 10th position. Here comes your leader through the bus stop. Actually, right, I do believe that Presti had picked up just a little bit. Looks like it might have been just 100th of a second, but nonetheless, he's getting just a little bit closer as they come once again back onto the front stretch. Come whizzing by the start finish, pick up the halfway flags. We're halfway home for our pre-final.
Well, we're 7 in, 7 to go, and we've got William Byron, NASCAR Cup Series driver for Hendrick Motorsports, down on the grid with our Caleb Smock. He's obviously trying to work on his road course prowess. Caleb, take it away.
So we're down here on grid, William Byron. Now, everyone knows you from the guy that runs the stock car. You're out here on the go-kart for 41 next year. What's the difference from you going from something that weighs a lot of horsepower to something that's probably got a good power weight ratio but has a lot of grip?
Yeah, I mean, it's so different. I didn't grow up doing this, but I started to practice and kind of just learn it a couple years ago, just for fun, really, and try to get a little bit of training in up north. So to come down here and race, you know, this is my 2nd ever go-kart race. It's a blast. I mean, these guys are super good, and everything is, like you said, it's high grip, but it's very precise, and everything happens really fast. So a lot different. You know, I've never ran a street course like this either, so a lot different than what I'm used to, but I'm having a blast, so it's been fun.
And we were talking beforehand, you said that you practiced a lot of GoPro Motorplex out in North Carolina. Tell us about the difference between going from a permanent pavement track to something in the streets that changes all the time.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is GoPro has a little bit of banking, and it's pretty wide. There's not a lot of, hairpins. This has a lot of hairpins, and makes the braking tough, which is not a strength of mine in go-karts yet. So it's hard for me to kind of feel the rear tires and how they lock up and everything. But overall, I think this is a great learning experience for me. And I've had so many laps recently at GoPro that I needed to go out and try something else, and I've been working with Fabio for a little bit now, so it's nice to be able to race for him too.
Now, I know you hear this a lot. Any sponsors or people I got to thank before I send you on your way?
Just Exalta. I mean, thanks for them to let me come race other things on my off time, and I was in Daytona for the next gen test, so it was easy for me to just come over here and race, and planned it a couple weeks ago, and it's great to see it come together, and awesome event. So thanks to everybody at Hendrick Motorsports for letting me race, and hopefully I get to do more of them.
I will send you on your way. Good luck today. Good luck the rest of your season.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Back to the booth with you, Xander.
Thank you for that there, Caleb. Obviously, best of luck here to William Byron. He's got to go ahead and get suited up. Big learning experience for him. He's not a kid who grew up racing go-karts, came up through sim racing, through oval track racing with Legends cars and late models. So again, with NASCAR making that switch more to road racing, it's cool that a lot more of those guys, we saw Kyle Larson we've talked about, and then there's a lot of NASCAR drivers that did come up through go-karting, Michael McDowell, Jamie McMurray, Kevin Harvick. So they come from, all drivers that go around. I mean, motorsports is kind of one interconnected spider web, and everybody uses different parts of it.
Certainly.
You got guys over at the Chili Bowl looking for prowess to go back, to oval racing. You've got guys coming to karting to look for more in road course racing, going over to the Trans Am Series to get laps in kind of a muscle car, high horsepower, but also heavyweight race cars similar to a cup car. And, there's competition to be found everywhere, whether it's 300-plus drivers at the Chili Bowl tonight,
right,
or, again, 225-plus here at the Rock Cup USA Florida Winter Tour. You can find a lot of talent to run with. We're watching.
Chili Bowl's going to end up being like a tornado bowl tonight with all those guys. It's going to be a great run, though.
It's going to be wild. They're already running right now, obviously, through somewhere in the alphabet soup of mains, because the way that they do it is they have a bracket system left and right-hand side.
Oh, my goodness.
Of, M and O and P, all the way up to the B mains, and then eventually to the A main, figure out the top 24 guys. So luckily we don't have as many of those to run through. We get to showcase a few more classes here at the Rock Cup Florida Winter Tour, and coming across the line here for one of those divisions, 2 to go. Patrick Otto Madsen, 2 laps left here, and it is still Scott Presti holding off Cole Matthewson. Not much change as the field cycles on by in ROK Shifter Master. Again, the double sticks going in the air. Ron John, while we went to the interview there with William Byron, obviously it's really cool as well that, William and every driver who has kind of used their leverage on maybe a more known or more publicized form of motorsport to be open to those interviews here. William's out here. He doesn't have a sponsor that's forcing him to do that. He's doing that out of his own courtesy, and obviously he's going to get a whole lot of fans out of this weekend from all the kids running around getting to look up to him and see him racing. The same way when Kyle Larson came back, and the same way for A.J. Allmendinger and Jamie McMurray when they would make consistent starts when they were making a whole lot more.
He's not exactly in a bad group either. He's in a pretty good car and got a pretty doggone strong team back behind him. But I tell you, I'm so impressed that those guys take the time to come out and race with us.
That's exactly. I mean, he was busy
really
week.
Cool.
He was out here already
busy.
again Tuesday, next gen testing at Daytona. He had a work week on the early side of the week, and instead of just going home, taking it easy, resting up, enjoying the off season, he's out here. Credit to him, he's working on his craft.
Sure he is.
But obviously he's also trying to have some fun here, and you can't blame him for the nice weather down here compared to even North Carolina. I'm sure it's a lot warmer. So the final lap underway. We've focused a little bit. It deserves more love. Patrick Otto Madsen's been perfect this week. Lost the whole shot. Wins the pre-final. Very nicely done.
He was already fist pumping as he was coming up.
He knew he had it in the bag.
He knew he had it for sure. Another great run for Patrick Otto Madsen. Scotty Presti second. Cole Matthewson will end up in that third spot. Renee Martinelli fourth. Juan Unigaro ends up in fifth. Nico Rondet, as I mentioned, showed a little speed earlier in practice, ends up in the sixth position. Daniel DeBoss, the Peruvian driver, in seventh. Francisco Vassallo, the Canadian driver, in the eighth position. Mornay Von Tock from, looks like a Jamaican driver there for Mornay in the 568, and for Fashard Bagheri in the 505 will end up in the 10th position. So again, the pre-final in the bank for our Shifter Masters. They'll take a little break here. They'll enjoy their lunchtime, and then they'll come back out for finals racing here in just a little while. Having to cram everything into 3 days as opposed to what we normally do in 4 because we've got some inclement weather heading our direction. And it's talking about an awful lot of wind. Doesn't talk a whole lot about an awful lot of rain, but the rain that is coming is probably going to be some pretty serious thunderstorms, and go-karts and lightning don't really mix.
Yep, and that's, again, why we've got all the action packed in here to Saturday. Everyone's still lined up. And guess what? It's one of the headline divisions coming your way next. Senior ROK. NASCAR Cup Series driver William Byron rolls off a little deep. He's got a lot of passing to do. We'll see what he can pull off. Of course, top of the field, it's Ben Brazilian. Mateus Morgado is going to lead them to the green flag.
As the Western importer of the Praga and Formula K chassis brands, Leading Edge Motorsports is a high-performance kart shop and race team with a simple mission: teach others the joy of high-performance driving, supply our customers with the highest quality products and services, and most of all, win races. With our remarkable racing inventory, expert services, and top-ranked national-level team to back it up, we'll help to get your new kart racing package up and running fast. From arrive and drive service to kart preparation and driver coaching to the parts you need to get you back on the racetrack, Leading Edge Motorsports is the industry answer.
I'm Billy Vincent, owner of MPG Motorsports. What we do at MPG is we try to keep it a nice, fun family atmosphere, try to combine sort of the bigger things and of the bigger teams and the professionalism down with sort of some of the fun, sort of family-oriented atmosphere. We try to not only develop drivers, but also the parents and the families for just in knowledge in general in motorsports. It all starts in karting. What we try to do is try to help the drivers, the moms, the dads understand the sport of motorsports in general, not just karting, but what it takes to get all the way up through. Whether you end up wanting to be a driver or a mechanic or an engineer, you know, we can help you with that, and that's what we're here for. If you're interested in joining us at MPG, our home base is at Whiteland Raceway Park in Indianapolis, and you can contact us at info@willpowerkart.com. And one of our great people will reach out to you, and we'll try to put the best program together.
Welcome back here live to Pompano Beach, Florida. And again, we are bringing you the action for the opening weekend of the ROK Cup USA Florida Winter Tour at the Isle Casino. ROK Senior on deck here, and it's really all been one driver. That's the one on your screen right now. Mateus Morgado has been your quickest so far through the week. The AM Racing Engines X-Spree driver, super fast here this weekend. Again, a good warm-up race last week. He and Diego Ramos, who will join him on the outside of row number 1, were dominant in the Brazilian National Championships about a month and a half ago. Then both of them were out of the seat as Alessandro Di Giulio, there next on your screen, is the next driver that has been chasing them all week and qualified second. Look at Marian Kremers, his first U.S. start this weekend to start a campaign that'll go to the entire 22 season as the newly signed PSL Karting factory driver for the VLR US team. There's Nick Bruckner. We'll talk to him before the main event. The only driver inside the first 3 rows we haven't chatted with yet this weekend. Bruckner rolls off to the outside of row 3 with Jeremy Fletcher to the inside. And well run, John. Let's take him through the rest of our starting lineup here row by row.
Is Ryan Vincent. Ryan Vincent up next in the 332. Matthew Cousineau will roll off in the 397. Next row, it's going to be Blake Nash alongside of Jack Jeffers, Donovan Bonilla, and Gianluca Savaglio will roll off next, along with Daniel Ali and Thomas Naviu.
Yeah, Thomas Naviu, of course, a lot of work to do. Had that wreck in heat number 1 on the final lap after contact with his teammate. Kind of a big skirmish. Blake Nash involved, Gianluca Savaglio involved, ultimately Thomas Naviu, the driver that ended up the ultimate, not benefactor, the ultimate, the worst out of it. Sure. Ended up with a DNF. Then goes into heat number 2, ends up going over the top of the front bumper of another driver. So he starts about midway through. Again, if he gets into the top 10, he's got an outside shot. He needs these guys to battle with Mateus Morgado. We will see if that is going to be a possibility here right now. Has anyone figured out any speed overnight? Senior ROK, it always lines the fences, fills the stands for the mechanics on each side of the racetrack. And look at that, a beautifully gridded group here with Mateus Morgado at the helm. He's got them lined, looking nice, into the trim lines. We're green down to turn 1, and Ramos gets the jump on it. Morgado will lose the lead.
Boy, he sure did.
Whoa, and that was an even start too. Morgado didn't get jump started by Diego Ramos. Ramos just caught him lacking a little bit. I think Morgado maybe bottled it up, and we got a couple together in the back. Jeremy Fletcher's involved. Oh, Jeremy Fletcher gets turned around in turn number 3. And that'll take one of the hotshot juniors moving into senior, the rookie, out of contention. It is now Ramos, Morgado, DeTulio, Marian Kremers is next in line.
Guess we'll have to keep an eye on both DeTulio and Kremers. Don't think there'll be any issues there, but nonetheless, those guys did have a little bit of an incident yesterday. Meantime, now they're running nose to tail, one another. Meanwhile, here comes Diego Ramos. Ramos out in front. Morgado in second, DeTulio third, Kremers in fourth, Nick Bruckner up a spot. Another great run so far already for Nick.
Pass for the lead. Morgado gets through on Diego Ramos. Nice move there by Mateus Morgado. Quickly goes by on Ramos. He knows that DeTulio is close here. DeTulio closed up at the end of heat number 2, so he was feeling pretty confident to end his Friday. And as they work their way through the infield bus stop, here they come. DeTulio looking, not going to go. Bruckner going to go, though. Nick Bruckner side by side, not able to get clear on Marian Kremers. That was back for 4th. So Kremers hangs on to the spot. Bruckner still P5.
Look at your crew now. All of a sudden they had a little breakaway, started racing together. And everybody else has managed to make their way up onto the back bumper. Boy, looks like Jack Jefferson's having a tough time. He's way back down the list here. But Morgado, he's been the class of the field so far this weekend. See if he's able to hang on as they come racing down, once again coming through the bus stop.
Yeah, Mateus Morgado now starting to edge that lead out a little bit. I thought DeTulio would have gone on Ramos last time right here coming out of the bus stop. He looked close enough, decided not to. So the Paralyn USA driver still a little bit more ground to be made up. Marian Kremers having pulled away from Nick Bruckner's. Got a little bit of a gap now in 4th and 5th. Big gap back, I believe that's Blake Nash who has come the order, and he's gotten into 6th. So nice work forward for Blake Nash, as that's just outside of the top group here. Here battling for 2nd. DeTulio not close enough still, a kart length away. Kremers still right there. And again, then back to Nick Bruckner, P5.
Thomas Neveu already up into 7th position, so he's up 7 spots. Looking a little bit further down, giving some shout-outs to Hopeng Zhang, the Chinese driver, now up 8 positions, along with Mateus Oliveira. Also up 8 positions as you look further back into the group. Also Justin White sitting in that 10th position, up 7 spots. Still, though, out in front, Morgado, Ramos, DeTulio, Kremers, and Bruckner, your top 5 as they come racing back by the start-finish once again.
Yeah, here they come down to 1. Evenly spaced out here in the top group. And, I don't know if we'll see too much here. They all seem pretty evenly matched. Morgado remains as the leader. We're going to take a look back. I'd like to see if we can get those cameras down a little bit further back. Just saw Thomas Neveu come into frame, so he's up a number of positions into the top 10. Great start for Thomas Neveu. We'll try and pick him up somewhere here on the racetrack. Looks like he is up to 6th and closing in on Nick Bruckner. So what a topsy-turvy week it has been for the Canadian, Thomas Neveu. But there he is, end of the shot, just coming through there behind Bruckner. That's the group of 3, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, headed to the final corner.
Without a doubt, his determination has been unparalleled. It's taken every bit of patience and determination to get where he's gotten, and now he sits in that 7th position. Make it 6th position. Now 6th position for Thomas Neveu, the Canadian driver. In the meantime, though, it's still Mateus Morgado out there in front, stretched it out to 9/10 of a second lead. Looking back down the list here, Neveu, as I mentioned, in the 6th spot. Ryan Vincent in 7th. Blake Nash now up into the 8th position. Matthew Cousineau, another Canadian driver, up into, actually back down into 9th. And Justin White up 7 positions. Justin on the move, residing right now in that 10th spot.
Yeah, so again, big mover here for Thomas Neveu, and much needed if he wanted a shot at this win. His Nash Motorsports Kart Republic looking really strong here. He's trying to close into Nick Bruckner. Again, great start. Then Ryan Vincent, and Vincent was on his tail of 3 Nash Motorsports drivers, 6th, 7th, and 8th. trailing the Orsolon Racing Tony Kart of Nick Bruckner. For those of you NASCAR fans tuning in to find your William Byron update, he unfortunately has had an issue here and did not get a great start. He is down in 26th at the moment. Back towards the front half of the field here, though, as they'll cycle on by. Thomas Nevo again working his way through the bus stop.
I believe William had started, what, 15th position, I believe?
Yeah.
Was that going to be his starting position when he...
Something around that here.
Something obviously must have happened, because he, to drop him all the way down to the very last driver here.
For Byron?
Yeah.
No, he was starting a little bit deeper in the
Was
field.
he further?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, William Byron, just a learning week for him. Again, this is, he's a rookie in this discipline of racing. Didn't grow up this way, coming in against a lot of drivers who have come up through the ranks, learning, in this discipline of motorsport, and have plenty of years on him. He just doesn't have the time. So for William Byron here, NASCAR Cup Series, Hendrick Motorsports front-runner NASCAR Cup Series race winner, to move over to this level of motorsport, to this completely separate and at the same time related and launching pad. I mean, obviously you can start in karting much younger than you can get by the wheel of a car. So you see every single car driver comes out of karting. It's a one-way street, though. Not every car driver has done karting or goes over to it. So, but at least a lot of professional car drivers started in karting. Max Pappas, of course, that's the driver coach on the road course side for William Byron, helps all of his road course development, and that's what's got it here. Max Pappas has a long relationship with the Orsolon Racing team and Fabio Orsolon, and they were able to put that deal together to get Willie B behind the wheel of the Senior ROK package, and it's really, really cool for our sport, again, to have some big names from some well-recognized series running, and again, it's a humbling experience. For Kyle Larson, wins the NASCAR Cup Championship, struggled to kind of break the top 20, was very impressive for his first ever race weekend in a kart, and I know that everyone at Speed Concepts Racing really loved having him around, as we see Mateus Morgado come by, but even for Kyle Larson, who is renowned as a guy who can go fast on anything, just a completely different driving style it takes to go fast in a single-speed racing kart, just trying to get into the top 15.
You're so right, Xander, to think that somebody like a Will Power that goes out there and races with all these kids and ends up only in the top 10.
Right, and that was his goal.
Yes.
He was open about it. He's like, these guys, if I get to the top 10, I'll be happy.
And listening to him talk to some of the other drivers, the other race car drivers, along with, I believe it was Hinchcliffe, or whomever had traveled with him, I remember him saying that these are the best drivers because they were ending up so far back down the order. Realize a little bit different discipline here than it is maybe driving a...
It's just different. I mean, you put not to knock on Mateus Morgado here, Marian Kremers, or Alessandro D'Atulio, which just traded spots for third. I mean, you put them in William Byron's Cup car, I bet William Byron's going to run laps around him. But that said, he comes over here to our world, and it's just different. That's all it really comes down to. So with 4 laps to go, I believe actually might be working 3 laps to go here, Marian Kremers gotten by D'Atulio. This time no contact. Of course, they got in a little bit of controversy.
Yes, they did.
In heat number 1. Good run here in the pre-final for Kremers. He's looking to start on the inside of row number 2. That would be crucial here for his main event as he closes towards Diego Ramos, not far up the road, and they've definitely dropped Nick Bruckner. Bruckner has fallen behind Thomas Nevo. They'll come on through the hairpin just behind them. So Nevo now into 5th. Again, major improvement for Thomas here in the pre-final to come forward, and he's running laps, I believe, that should put him right on pace with where he needs to be to contend for a race win.
Oh, no doubt. He's right there, right amongst them, 46.837 to a 46.732. So he's definitely got the speed. It's also very nice to see Diego Ramos up there in that top couple. Right now sits in that 2nd position. Diego, a fine young driver.
Yeah, it was not a great ending to 2021. I mean, Diego Ramos, I think, really after the Superkarts USA Winter Nationals in New Orleans, he and the Racing Edge Motorsports guys could never really seem to find the stride for the American races they came down to. But last weekend, onto the podium here along with Morgado and Homestead, and now finds himself, again, P2, just wanting to get a little closer to his Brazilian buddy in Morgado. Double 6 in the air here for the pre-final. He should be safe, but Marian Kremers, a couple of kart lengths away, could close in. And, I talked a lot about, one driver hard in the wall. Santiago Fernandez has pounded the barrier on the outside of turn number 2. The Alessandro's Racing Tony Kart driver is out here. Your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th battle was what we've got ourselves keyed on. while behind them again, Fernandez will give you an update on him as it looks. It looks like he was able to get back going. Yellow flag's also waving here. No, was he going around to the bus stop? I thought he was around in turn number 1. No, he was around the bus stop.
Out of the bus stop right over here.
Yeah, so the leaders having to work their way by him. We've also got an update on Jeremy Fletcher here as the white flag begins to wave, or did for a moment. We'll try and pick him up. He is obviously playing catch up as well. Was involved in that incident on lap number 1. Got tagged into the wall and kind of stuck together. He's driven back up to 16th on the racetrack with Adam Ali just up the road, and it's unfortunate for Fletcher. Their race engine did not make it here in time, got trapped in shipping. It's currently in St. Louis, Missouri. So, while they're not only fighting, back uphill after that wreck here at the start of the main pre-final, they're kind of fighting with one arm behind their back a little bit with their primary engine not making it here to Pompano Beach, Florida. One driver who is not fighting with one arm behind his back, or at least doesn't look like it, is Mateus Morgado, though, out of the final turn. He will cruise to the pre-final win in ROK Senior. Diego Ramos second, Kremers third, DeTulio fourth. Let's go on through here the rest of your top 10, Ron John.
All right, Thomas Navieu ends up in that 5th position. 9-position change there for Thomas Navieu. Nick Buckner hangs on to 6th. Blake Nash up a couple spots, ends up in 7th. Ryan Vincent in the 8th position. Justin White, 8-position change for Justin, now in the 9th position. And Jack Jeffers, the 3-1. We'll round out our top 10. Again, congratulations. Mateus Morgado, the Brazilian driver, takes the victory here at pre-final in our senior rockers.
Well, that'll give us the opportunity to take a quick commercial break. We'll see if maybe we can get a couple post-race interviews, talk with some of our top finishers here from the pre-final, and break down what just went on here. We'll definitely want to get a word with Jeremy Fletcher about that start. Unfortunate for him. I definitely want to talk to Thomas Naveau. He had a great one, opposite way. 2 drivers that went one way, one went the other on the leaderboard. We'll see them here after the break.
With over a decade experience in the software development industry, Novus Web is your choice for custom development, systems with artificial intelligence, and e-commerce website design. If you're ready to make your online presence known, look no further than novusweb.tech. Parallel USA, a top-level performance team with unmatched hospitality, offering a full-service driver development program with year-round testing available in Miami, Florida, and the official North America racing team of Parallel Racing Chassis. Chassis and parts available at ParallelinUSA.com. If you're looking for top-grade equipment, look no further than Rev Performance Materials engine mounts, sprockets, and arcade chains. Available online now at RevPerformanceMaterials.com and through a dealer near you. The highest quality material, built to the highest quality standards. Rev Performance Materials.
Welcome back here to the Isle Casino in Pompano Beach, Florida. You can see a few of the mechanics trying to get a little shade there right by the front stretch tree. We got a little bit of shade around. It's getting pretty sunny. Temperature's definitely coming up. We're a little bit warmer than we were yesterday for sure. So we're live here. Of course, my name's Andrew Clements, live on Kart Chasers coverage of the ROK Cup USA Florida Winter Tour alongside my good buddy Ron Eversole. We've got more coverage coming your way here. Here's your mechanics lined up on the stand as well. ROK Cup does a great job of these temporary racetracks, trying to give everybody a little bit of elevation. Look at that Helen Izabar just chilling up in the tree, just watching. Hey, not a bad place to watch the racing from. You got shade, you're elevated, can't blame them. That's a pretty cool spot to watch from. So
I tell you, Xander, a couple of years ago when we were down in Miami, one of the things happened is all the guys were bringing out those scissor lifts.
Oh, yeah.
Before we would start, I'd say, okay, it's the race of the scissor lifts, and everybody would just take off and get as high as they possibly could. We had an absolute blast with that part of it as well. I know it was a fun time with the scissor lifts, but Great to see everybody out. It's an absolutely gorgeous day here in Pompano Beach. It's what they call Chamber of Commerce weather.
You got people chilling all around the racetrack.
Absolutely.
There we go. They got a couple guys, just a few lawn chairs.
Yeah.
Nice view.
Yeah.
Right outside. You got the van. Probably got a cooler nearby. Any drinks? We had a few guys tailgating down at Homestead. Right off the back, a few pickup trucks here. I'm sure we'll probably have a few more. I mean, it's cool. Again, that's the cool part of temporary racing. We're right outside the Isle Casino in Pompano. Is always pretty busy, so you get a lot of traffic coming by, at least towards the lot, and people just kind of stop. Yeah, we got to spare 15 minutes.
You and I kind of enjoyed that when we were out in Vegas, right? When we were watching everybody up in the garages there.
Oh, I can't wait to get back there this year, man.
I know Garrett told me he wanted to turn those into suites.
Yeah, that'd be the way to go. That would be the absolute way to go.
Get a little bar up there, man. We could really make that happen.
Yeah, well, we got a Masters ROK coming onto the racetrack here, Ron John. Why don't we go ahead and give them the starting lineup?
All right, on the pole, the 627 of William Isaias. Outside pole, our friend Scotty Roberts. On the second row, it's going to be Renato Yater-David in the 625 with Daniel Robertson in the 604.
Back to row number 3. Rob Mayer lines up to the inside of Wildman Mario Barrios in the 611. Rawlson Performance Group Cosmic. It's an RPG lockout, actually, of row number 3.
All right, up next will be the 607 of Michelle Garrido. And then it's Diego Rodriguez in the 626.
Robert Granero and Kim Carapalati make up the next row, lining up right side by side behind Garrido.
And then it's Miguel Mir and Pablo Savalas will roll off next.
And I'm curious to see if we do have Miguel Mir. I can't imagine that we will have him on the list, but that, of course, is where he should be lined up to go. If not, it'd be Galo Barros, Scott Carapalati, Lucas Iglesias, and Alexander Dalbon, but they will probably get moved up a little bit here, as I can't imagine Meyer is going to be in.
Right. I know it does show him on the list here. Obviously, it doesn't necessarily mean he'll make the race. We'll have to wait until they come back around. Look how slowly they're approaching. Coming out of turn number 12 here. These are our Master rockers.
Yeah, Master ROK, very slow start coming from William Isaias. He has got them right onto the clutches. I mean, they could burn him up if they wanted to at that kind of speed. Luckily, he got a lot of experience in the field. They're all good with it. They're coming into the start box. Easy jump for Isaias. And Scott Roberts trying to get clear for second. He will. He'll send it deep enough. Gets ahead of Renato Yater. We've got a few tagged together in the first corner. Only 2, though. The rest of the field is clean and green. Over through 3 and into 4. Isaias the leader. Roberts second. David into third. Looks like one of the RPG Cosmics, I think Rob Mayer from 5th, has moved up into 4th. And we'll keep tabs on them all as they rocket down the back straightaway for the first time here. Isaias, 3 to 4 car lengths back to Scotty Roberts to the bus stop chicane.
Miguel Meyer did not start.
So confirm, we won't be
exactly
seeing
what we
Miguel
thought
here today. Yeah, but out of turn number 11 and through the kink at 12, Isaias will put 1 lap in the books. About a 3 or 4 car length lead here to begin this Master ROK pre-final. Scott Roberts closed up yesterday, so did Renato Yater. In fact, Yater had a great battle back and forth in that second heat race with Isaias. Here he goes for second, quickly and decisively goes on by. So there goes Renato Yater-David up to P2. Scott Roberts back to third. That gap will open up a little bit for the leader, not too much. Roberts signals, all right, you want to lead the way forward? Go right ahead. Let's go catch him. William Isaias, your leader with a lap and a half here in Ron John, and Renato Yater seeming to kind of hit his groove. He looks confident out there right now here with a pass this early.
Interesting. It almost looked like he might have been actually signaling Scotty to come up and try and get up there and help push him up there to the front. That may be what it takes, because William Isaias has been extremely fast out there in front. Isaias about 0.6 of a second lead now. Mario Barrios went purple. The Peruvian driver went 48.533 to a 48.67 for your leader. That'll leave Mario Barrios right now in that 5th position. Still, though, Isaias, Renato Yater-David, and Scott Roberts, your top 3.
Looks like we've got Jeremy Fletcher down here caught up with Caleb Smock. Jeremy, of course, rough run here in heat in the pre-final. Let's see if we can have a word with him, catch up, see what happened.
Jeremy Fletcher, first off, the heartbreaking run. What's supposed to happen there on lap 3?
I just went to 3. I turned. One go-kart went flying over me. I mean, it was everybody just tried to cram into one corner, and that's it.
So now you're going to be starting kind of farther back towards the grid, not ideal where you want to be. Mentally going into the final, what are you going to have to do now?
Avoid the crash in turn 3, and hopefully that'll give me about 8 spots off the rip, and then just keep picking them off one by one.
All right, there it is for Jeremy Fletcher. Make his work out through the field. I got a couple more coming up. Let's send it back to the booth to you, Xander.
Jeremy Fletcher just kind of tagged in someone else's mess a little bit there through turn number 3. Puts him in a pretty big hole here, starting 16th in the final. Again, we talked about his race motor not even making it here to Pompano. So already with the week kind of not going the right way for Senior ROK. He's got VLR Senior about locked down, as it looks like, but for ROK GP, just a little bit further down the order. Isaiah leads them down the front straightaway here. Nice and healthy gap back to, we got 2 together. That is Ceballos and Galo Barros, it looks like.
Yeah, it does look like Galo Barros.
And that is over in the exit of the bus stop chicane. So they've got a little bit of time here to try and get refired. They'll try, do what they can to get them going. And I believe they may send Barros into the scale line, because by the time he gets that thing going, leaders are coming. Here they come through the bus stop section now, and we'll pick them right up. There goes Isaiah, David, and Roberts, all pretty close together. 1, 2, 3, headed into the final corner.
Definitely looks like Renato Yater David has made up some of that space on Isaiah, and along Scotty Roberts pulling right along with him. In the meantime, got a couple of RBG Cosmic drivers working there in that 4th and 5th position. Looks like saw the hand up. Looked like one of the teammates there was like a little rough with his teammate. Said, hey, I'm sorry. I believe that was Daniel Robertson and Mario Barrios. Scott Roberts, though, was your purple lap. Fastest on the track that last time by. Right now, Scotty's in that 3rd position. Talking to Scott yesterday, looking forward to heading to St. Pete next month. That's his home.
And as he tries to close on up and tighten that battle, we'll get set. And we are going to send it on down here to our Caleb Smock. He has caught up with Thomas Neveau. Much better fortune than yesterday, up from 15th.
So down on grid, Thomas Neveau, you had a fantastic recovery run during that entire pre-final. How'd you see it?
Yeah, it was a good run. Finally a good run. Started 14th, finished 5th. I think maximized what I could do in the pre-final, and now from then on, it's race on and try to go get the boys in front.
Now you worked your way just a little bit farther up the grid when you go into. Probably not ideal of where you want to start at. Mentally, what are you going to have to do going into the actual final?
I think the first few laps, try to make a few positions, and then from then on, we'll see what happens. We'll see if I have the pace, and hopefully I have.
Now, you're going to be starting back towards with Jeremy Fletcher. You guys going to work together at all, work your way up?
We'll see. Starts on my outside, so we'll see how the start goes. Maybe after the start, I'll be 4th or 3rd, so hopefully a good first opening lap, and then from then on, try to go in the front.
Well, thank you so much for coming out. Good luck to you in the future. Send it back up to the booth. I got one more little bit here in a second. Thank you, Xander.
Thanks for that, Caleb, here. And, of course, thanks to Thomas for the time to chat with us. And like we said, great run forward here from 15th up into 5th. He's going to look really good here for the final. That pace looked really good. I mean, he was 2nd quickest, obviously, to Morgado. So the only guy right now that's looking like might have a real shot to battle for the win. Definitely got podium pace.
Yeah, I know he's going to be happy with that result for sure. Move him up quite a bit and get him in there for the final coming up. Give him a few more laps to maybe get up there and give Morgado a battle for that victory. Meantime, William Isaiah, your international motorsports driver, continues to be out there in front. That Tony kart has been extremely fast in the hands of William Isaiah this weekend. Renato Yater David, certainly always a person you got to keep your eye on when it comes to these type of events. I don't know how many championships he's won, but I know it's quite a few.
Yeah, definitely a good bit. Again, he was a driver who was all the way up the F2 ladder. We've got finally the last of our Senior ROK interviews here queued up here. We'll go to it really quickly before the end of this one here for Master ROK. Mateus Morgado has dominated all week. He's swept every single session, nearly led every single lap. He is down with our Caleb Smog.
So now we're down here on track. Mateus Margado, first off, congratulations on the win. You pulled away from the field. I think you can carry that into the feature?
Yeah, now was a very good race. I could manage to open a good gap. I hope I can do the same in the final, and I'll just keep doing my best.
Now, it's been pretty easy for y'all weekend long. Is there anybody you're concerned about farther back in the field when it comes time for the feature?
I don't think it was too easy. I'm pushing really hard, and I see other drivers pushing as well. But we have their seats drivers that for sure can be on top as well.
All right, well, congratulations to you on the pre-final win. Hopefully we're going to see you here shortly. Last one, we'll send it back to the booth. Xander, thank you.
Thanks for that, Caleb. Here, we'll take it back up into the booth as we've got just a couple of laps to go right now. Out of the final turn, nice and easy going for William Isaias. Renato Yater has dropped Scotty Roberts. Roberts has faded during the course of that interview. He made, I think, one little mistake in particular, but overall, the pace has kind of fallen off, and so now the top three are spread a little bit further. And David closing a little to Isaias. I don't know if it'll be enough to get there. He did go purple last time. Half a tenth back, though, with only 3 to 4 to go. Needs a little more per lap to try and challenge at the checker.
Without a doubt, he's definitely showing that he has the speed. Whoa! Almost a little mix up there for Isaias. He almost clipped the barrier coming into the bus stop chicane right there.
Yeah, he was
and when
very,
he made,
very
when he made that little squiggle right there, it has allowed Renato to move up just a bit. Let's see as they come back by the start-finish. Scoring and timing loop here. He picked up a 10th. Only half a second now behind your leader, William Isaias, as the laps continue to wind down. Next time by, we'll be picking up the 2 to go. They're working lap number 12 right now. So again, Isaias, David, Robertson, Daniel Robertson in the 4th spot, Mario Barrios in 5th, Michelle Garrido 6th, Diego Rodriguez 7th. It's Rob Mayer in the 8th position. Lucas Iglesias up 6 positions now in 9th, and Glauber Brenner right now in that 10th position. So we've got some folks
got a
making
driver
some moves.
off.
Do we?
One of the Alessandro's racing entries, the 644.
That's going to be Lucas Iglesias. I just mentioned him.
Man.
He'd been having a good run. He'd up 6 positions at the time.
Commentators cursed right there at its best, Ron John. Well, it is 2 laps to go now here. No changes up at the front, but we'll keep the spotlight on the driver who has earned it so far here in this pre-final, William Isaias. Renato Yater trying to close. Isaias, quick look over the shoulder that time to see if he was going to be close enough. He is not, and really hasn't made up a lot of ground. Scotty Roberts again, just kind of even back there in 3rd. Big gap back from Roberts to Danny Robertson, who is getting hunted down by Mario Barrios for the 4th, 5th, and 6th position. 6th being Diego Rodriguez. Out of the final turn this time here, William Isaias will come through to see the white flag. One more lap around, Ron John, and the ROK Masters will have their grid set for the main event.
All right, here he comes. William Isaias out there in front. No change, though, in that lead. Still a half second gap there back to Renato Yater David. It's going to go back about 3, maybe 2 second gap there between the 2nd place driver and the 3rd place driver of Scott Roberts. Again, this is just the pre-final. They're doing 14 laps here at the Isle Casino layout for the Florida Winter Tour for 2022. Our first leg of a 3-leg championship. Today being Saturday, our pre-final and final day. Normally, obviously, we would be here on Sunday. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that due to some inclement weather supposed to be moving in. And for safety purposes, I think this is the absolute best call. Meantime, bam! William Isaias takes the victory. Renato Yater David ends up in 2nd, and Scott Roberts hangs on and takes 3rd.
Yeah, clean and green there, start to finish for William Isaias. Led every lap here of the pre-final for your ROK Masters. And we'll take you through one final look at the results as we've got still ROK Micro. The youngsters going to be taking us up next here while the Masters clear the racetrack. So again, William Isaias topped the boards over Renato Yater and Scotty Roberts. Danny Robertson holds off Mario Barrios by about half a second by the end of things. Michelle Garrido just outside the top 5. Diego Rodriguez, Glauber Granero, Rob Mayer, and Scott Carapalati drives forward to best Kim Carapalati for the final spot in the top 10. We come back. The Young Guns, ROK Micro, coming your way here, 7 to 10 years old. And again, a lot of new faces joining us at the Florida Winter Tour, amped for their first main event day. I shouldn't say Sunday. It feels like Sunday. It isn't. It's Saturday. Pre-finals and finals rolling on through here in Pompano.
Kart Store USA is a kart parts supplier that racers and retailers can count on when they need reliable advice and service. We focus on servicing all racers with honesty and pride while maintaining customer satisfaction. We carry a full stock of Kart Republic and Tony Kart chassis, as well as IAMI and Vortex ROK engines. We've also got a host of other parts available and in stock, such as products from Rev Performance Materials, Jekko Racing Seats, and more. We have a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and on top of that, if your order exceeds $200, shipping is on us. Check out all we have to offer today by visiting us online at kartstore-usa.com. With over a decade experience in the software development industry, Novus Web is your choice for custom development, systems with artificial intelligence, and e-commerce website design. If you're ready to make your online presence known, look no further than novusweb.tech. Kart Store USA is a kart parts supplier that racers and retailers can count on when they need reliable advice and service. We focus on servicing all racers with honesty and pride while maintaining customer satisfaction. We carry a full stock of Kart Republic and Tony Kart chassis, as well as IAMI and Vortex ROK engines. We've also got a host of other parts available and in stock, such as products from Rev Performance Materials, Jekko Racing Seats, and more. We have a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and on top of that, if your order exceeds $200, shipping is on us. Check out all we have to offer today by visiting us online at kartstore-usa.com. Kart Store USA is a kart parts supplier that racers and retailers can count on when they need reliable advice and service. We focus on servicing all racers with honesty and pride while maintaining customer satisfaction. We carry a full stock of Kart Republic and Tony Kart chassis, as well as IAMI and Vortex ROK engines. We've also got a host of other parts available and in stock, such as products from Rev Performance Materials, Jekko Racing Seats, and more. We have a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and on top of that, if your order exceeds $200, shipping is on us. Check out all we have to offer today by visiting us online at kartstore-usa.com. Kart Store USA is a kart parts supplier that racers and retailers can.
Welcome back here to Pompano Beach, Florida. And once again, another session on the racetrack at the Isle Casino. Eyes on Alexander Procuna. He had a little bit of an issue getting fired off the grid, so the race is on for him to catch up to the end of the group. While he does that, Ron John and I are going to break down your starting lineup for the Micro ROK pre-final. Troy Ferguson, man, what a breakout weekend for Ferguson. The Zanella engine Bennett combination has been phenomenal. Drew Waltz in the PSL karting Burrell Art starts to his outside, I believe PSL, if not Prime Power Team. One of the major Burrell Art operations got him up front. Mateus Marlowe in the Racing Edge Motorsports Cosmic starts the inside of Tyrone Kemper Jr. And rolling out to the final row we'll be able to do here, row number 3. Ron John, who do we got?
All right, it's going to be Royce Vega along with Eli Steinbrook. Up next will be Rocco Simone and Maxwell Macha as they're getting ready to come to the, hopefully, green flag.
Looks good. We've got it. And Drew Waltz from the outside was trying to get clear. Did not. In fact, he's all the way shuffled around the outside. The inside lane, big time movement. We've got a couple.
Got a kid out of the cart.
Oh, one got ejected there in turn number 1. The kid's moving, and it was kind of slow. He looks to be okay. one of the Tony Kart drivers. Not sure which operation he may be affiliated with, but they're going to try and get him all cleared up. Looks like he is okay. Just a weird deal there. So Troy Ferguson leads. Royce Vega, great start. Bennick 1 and 2. Maxwell Macha defends a little bit early. He's up to third. Tyrone Kemper Jr. puts at AKT Kart Republics P3 and P4. They'll all make it out of the horseshoe in the infield here. Macha close to Vega, but Troy Ferguson, his biggest contender, Drew Waltz, got shuffled 3 wide to the outside in turn number 1. He's now been dropped majorly down the path. Here comes Macha, looking to the inside for second with help from Kemper Jr. They'll freight train by on Royce Vega, and Maxwell Macha works his way through to the Tampa, Florida native over the kid from New Orleans, Louisiana, and Tyrone Kemper Jr. into third. Again, Royce Vega fourth. Mateus Romalo rounding your top 5. Big lead already for Troy Ferguson, Ron John. What a week this kid's had here. Talk about a breakout weekend.
He has had a tremendous weekend. It's been so fast. And once again, he gets out in front. If you're not right there with him, he's going away. And that's exactly what's already happened. A half-second lead over our second-place driver, Royce Vega. What a great run there for Royce. Already up 3 positions. And Maxwell Macha up 5 into that third spot. Once again, our leader just now coming through turn number 11 into 12. And again, down the front stretch here at the Isle Casino layout. Just goes by the start-finish that last time by. He's now stretched it out to a 1.5-second lead. Maxwell Macha up 6 spots. Now resides in that second position. Tyrone Kemper Jr. in third. Royce Vega now back down into fourth. And Mateus Romalo will round out your top 5.
Yeah, overall pretty quiet now here in the middle sector of this pre-final for this mid-group. You see Tyrone Kemper Jr. He's trying to work with Maxwell Macha. Macha continuing to defend down the back straightaway as Troy Ferguson's lead just grows and grows. There they go through the bus stop. That lead bigger and bigger as Macha is, I'm not sure why he's feeling like he has to. He's got a teammate behind him, so might not be needing to go all the way down to the bottom to block. But beyond that, the rest of the field filing on through. Here's Macha with Kemper pushing him down to turn number 1.
Looks like Tyrone may have the run on him here as he looks down actually to the outside.
Macha very defensive.
Very. Took that inside and blocked completely.
Again, I don't think Kemper Jr. is trying to make a move past him, but he may have to here because Macha's going to stack him up. Royce Vega is just trailing there quietly in fourth, third in line. Mateus Romalo's been dropped a little further as Rocco Simone has moved up a position in the parallel. And again, there goes Macha to defend. Kemper to the outside. Tyrone Jr. can't get away past, and Royce Vega just kind of lurking there in the 4th position, not making a move by them just yet. So single file for this grouping for P2, while your leader, Troy Ferguson, is long gone. This is what we're focusing on at the moment. Out of the final corner, Macha takes him down the front stretch again. Kemper Jr. on the bumper. Does he look to the inside this time? He does not. Royce Vega going to throw a major block on Rocco Simone, though. That's for 4th, and that'll separate them all a little bit there. Romalo side by side with Simone. And, oh, man, there's just all kind of passing going on there beyond the top 5 that time. Troy Ferguson, though, dominant performance, is moving into a very dominating pre-final here as Macha finally a bit more of a normal line down the backstretch with Kemper Jr. right there in third.
3.1 second lead over our second-place driver, Maxwell Macha. Tyrone Kemper Jr. still remains in that 3rd position. Again, what had happened there is those guys up in the front were continuing to battle one another. It's allowed a few other guys to kind of try to make their way up, although we've gotten a little bit more separation since that last particular lap. By the way, the gentleman that got thrown out of his cart was Rafael Canas. Go to see him back in the cart and running. But Troy Ferguson has absolutely been perfect all weekend long, and certainly so far looking really strong here in pre-final.
Macha still defending here. That's going to back them up again. They had the opportunity to break away from Royce Vega, Troy Ferguson's teammate, and now will not really be able to do so as they go in through the end of the horseshoe. Black flag starting to fly here for lap traffic just out of sight of our cameras. But Troy Ferguson, I mean, he's long out of sight. Take a look at how far down the front stretch. He's almost the entire length of the front straightaway here. And it looks like Tyrone Kemper Jr., he's finally tired of just having the defending back them up. And unfortunately, yellow flags waving in turn number 1. I hope he doesn't end up with a penalty for that. He was already well alongside before it. Got a driver in the barrier over at the exit of turn at number 2, just out of camera. And there goes Macha back on Kemper Jr. Kemper, nice crossover. Royce Vega, does he follow? He does not. So Tyrone Kemper Jr. safely into second. Macha P3, Vega P4. Macha will defend on Vega now, and that'll give Tyrone Kemper Jr. some breathing room in second, which finally some luck going the way of Tyrone. He got up to second for a moment yesterday, and then got shuffled all the way down, I believe, to like the 6th or 8th spot in the final lap. So Tyrone Kemper Jr. now commands this train for, this is the battle for second, with the laps winding down. 3 laps to go here. Troy Ferguson still your leader, 7 down.
All right, they're all looking over their shoulders. They race down towards turn number 1. And once again, Kemper Jr. is going to hang on to that second position. Looks like that was Royce Vega trying to make his move there on Maxwell Macha. We'll see as they head back down. It looks like once again we're going to have an over and under there between Kemper Jr. and Maxwell Macha. And again, Kemper Jr. is going to get back around him as they run down the back stretch, heading for the bus stop chicane. 2 Kart Republic drivers right there, nose to tail. In the meantime, Troy Ferguson is cruising his way around the temporary layout here at the Isle Capri Casino here in beautiful Pompano Beach, Florida. All right, I thought perhaps maybe Maxwell was going to look to the inside, thought better of it, stayed back. Kemper Jr. still hanging on, Macha still in third. Drew Walls, 4th position, and Royce Vega still hanging on to that 5th position.
Oh, nearly a pass there with Maxwell Macha. He almost got down the inside of Tyrone Kemper Jr. So this battle for second, far from over here with 2 laps to go. Tyrone, Kurt length and a half clear at the moment. We'll keep a tab on Troy Ferguson. He hasn't got a lot of airtime. Definitely, again, has earned it. Troy Ferguson up the road nearly 10 seconds, or not that far, sorry, 6.5 back to Tyrone Kemper Jr., but that's a massive gap, nearly a second a lap. He has added to the margin back to P2. Again, this battle still going. Maxwell Macha closing in, half a cart back to turn number 1. Not close enough there. Might have a shot in the back hairpins or through the bus stop, where he'll get that big run through the toe in the carousel. Here they go out of 3 into 4. Macha looks. Kemper defends. No change in position. Let's see if we can pick up Troy Ferguson, the leader here. Final time by.
Once again, 6.3 second lead for Troy Ferguson. The Bennett has absolutely been...
Oh, Macha got through. Macha able to get by there into the horseshoe. And so Maxwell Macha's by. Here we go to Ferguson. Final time to the last corner. They're still battling back for second. We'll let you know how it goes. But Troy Ferguson dominating win. He puts on a clinic in the pre-final for Michael Rock. Here we go out of the final turn. This fight, Maxwell Macha, that final lap move, defended too hard. They're door to door across the line. Bam! Macha hangs on.
Wow.
Nicely done. Maxwell Macha just barely edges out.
I saw the bunny hop. Trying to get a little more. Great one there for Maxwell Macha. A little drag race down the front stretch here. Ends up Macha in second. Kemper in 3rd position. It'll be Drew Walls in 4th. Rocco Simone up a couple of spots. Ends up in 5th. Royce Vega 6th. Mateus Ramallo in 7th. Jose Carlos Murad. Jose, what a run for him. Up 9 positions into the 8th spot. Eli Steinbrook in 9th. And it'll be David Zhao. Ends up in that 10th position. But a tremendous run for Troy Ferguson. Congratulations to Troy. Been very, very strong all weekend long.
Very strong indeed here. We we are going to be talking to you guys a little bit here as we get closer towards the end of our pre-finals. Do not forget the main events. To watch them, you'll need to join the Kart Chaser Premium Members Club, and that you can do on our YouTube channel. You'll need to be on a computer or a tablet. It won't really work too well on a mobile device from what we've found out. It's $9.99 per month. You'll be able to see every bit of the main event action live on our YouTube channel. So you go to youtube.com/kartchaser. Right at the top, next to the subscribe button, there is a join button. You'll enter your payment information. Doesn't bill you until the 30th day of each month. You can cancel at any time. You just pay per month for the races you want, or stay subscribed all year long. We have over 20 plus race weekends coming your way. Next month, of course, the SuperKarts USA Winter Series is back. The Rock Cup Florida Winter Tour goes to St. Petersburg. So all 3 rounds of the Rock Cup Florida Winter Tour live on Kart Chaser, beginning here this weekend in Pompano Beach, Florida. If you'd like to watch, make sure to subscribe. Until then, we'll take another commercial break. When we'll come back, more racing coming. Junior Rock next up.
I'm Billy Vincent, owner of MPG Motorsports. What we do at MPG is we try to keep it a nice, fun family atmosphere. Try to combine sort of the bigger things and of the bigger teams and the professionalism down with sort of some of the fun, sort of family-oriented atmosphere. We try to not only develop drivers, but also the parents and the families for just in knowledge in general in motorsports. It all starts in karting. What we try to do is try to help the drivers, the moms, the dads understand the sport of motorsports in general, not just karting, but what it takes to get all the way up through. Whether you end up wanting to be a driver or a mechanic or an engineer, you know, we can help you with that, and that's what we're here for. If you're interested in joining us at MPG, our home base is at Whiteland Raceway Park in Indianapolis, and you can contact us at info@willpowerkart.com, and one of our great people will reach out to you, and we'll try to put the best program together.
Parallel USA, a top-level performance team with unmatched hospitality, offering a full-service driver development program with year-round testing available in Miami, Florida, and the official North America racing team of Parallel Racing Chassis. Chassis and parts available at ParalleLUSA.com.
Welcome back here once again. We appreciate you guys sticking with us through our quick commercial break. Junior Rock is queued up here, and again, my name is Xander Clements, live with Kart Chasers coverage of the Rock Cup USA Florida Winter Tour. Again, we've got people watching from all around the racetrack. You just saw there a few standing on top of cars. You're hanging on top of the fence somewhere. I mean, you got just, anywhere you can get a good viewpoint here to check out the action, because it has been spectacular. That was a great battle, of course, for second in Micro Rock. Troy Ferguson able to get away. Look at that. A couple kids having a good afternoon here. There's, let's see if we can identify at least a few. It looks like Keelan Harvick, one of them, and one of the mechanics over here to the side. All just keeping an eye on the action. And you go on down, I mean, you'll see drivers just coming up and watching, enjoying the view that you get trackside when you're not on the racetrack, because you do get some downtime when your class isn't on the circuit here. A few drivers decide to pick up a second class, go run another double duty.
Right.
For others, it's, more time to watch good racing and enjoy the weather again, as we've talked about. It's just such a great day.
It's a beautiful day. It's great to see everybody out and enjoying the sunshine. Don't forget your sunscreen while you're here. Make sure you put that on. Protect yourself. And, of course, stay hydrated as well, because this sun will kind of suck that part out of you as well. Yeah, it's an absolutely beautiful day. It is Saturday.
It is Saturday.
That's the only thing.
Yep. Unfortunately, we don't get that full weekend in, but and again, it feels weird to be saying we got main events coming, but you know what?
Hey,
before we got main events, still got pre-finals.
Sure do.
We got them live here, free on YouTube and Facebook. Let's go ahead and take you to the starting lineup for your Junior Rockers. Of course, this week's been dominated in Junior Rock by 2 in particular. Aiden Ingrata and Sebastian Weldon will make up the front row. Moving back to row number 2, it'll be Fernando Luque and Jorge Ortiz.
Up next, it's Michael Costello, the 223, along with Enzo Vidmontian. Up next will be Caleb Cafara in the 204 with Leonardo Escarponi in the 255.
Behind the Scorpione, it'll be Stephen Miller and Teddy Musella around your top 10. G3 Agairos and Christian Cameron make up row number 6.
All right, row 7 will be Caleb Campbell and Hudson Schwartz.
And moving back here to row number 8, Gavin Witt, Frederick Lemieux. Jensen Burnett, Charlie Smith make up row number 9. Then it's Isaac Canto da Silva, Nolan Hofreiter, and we keep on going down. There's Giovanni Cabrera, Saravico, Amelia Chandler, Lorenzo Castillo, Naomi Garcia, and Anthony Martella. The engines are fired. You can see the smoke clouds, and what a shot right there as the grid marshal gets out of the way. And it looks like the carts just come out of a movie
out of the
set.
smoke, yes.
Yeah.
Out of the fire and into the smoke, and here they are. Aiden Iceman Ingrata on the pole, along with Sebastian Weldon on the outside.
And they'll get the full warm-up lap here to warm the tires, get some heat into the motor, and get dialed up here. Sebastian Weldon and Aiden Ingrata have been close, and man, they had a great battle to close off the afternoon in heat number 2. We were fighting sunlight, and they were fighting like it was the main event. I mean, they were back and forth, clean racing all the way through. Huge kudos to both drivers for keeping it clean, and of course Ingrata able to get the better of the pair, and so he gets to line up on the inside of row number 1 here for the pre-final and lead the field to the greens. The Weldon has had pretty good starts, I would say, from the outside of the front row, so hopefully he can continue that trend. Obviously unfortunate for Drew Waltz, the Motaz Sport VLR driver, just losing out there, getting shuffled wide at the start of the Micro ROK pre-final. Now here for Junior ROK, will Weldon have the same fate? Will he get the fate of Ramos and get the jump? Big push on the inside lane, but Weldon, oh, too much shoving, actually. We're not going to go green. That's going to be one of the first waved off starts that we had.
Yeah, I couldn't help but notice that all of a sudden there was a little bit of a gap there between it looked like it was the 4th place position and 5th, and able to run up right on his back bumper and pump him when he did. Kid put his hand up. Perhaps that was the cue there for Justin. Decided to wave it off, send him back around. It's a pre-final. Make sure everybody gets a good, clean start. And of course, a big group of our juniors, so we'll have to obviously keep an eye on turn number 1. I'm seeing our race director out there giving them a little waving. Didn't look like he was waving friendly at him either. So he's just reminding them, calm down, relax, let's get this race started. So as our group is formed up, they'll head towards turn number 11. They'll go through 12, and once they go through 12, they'll turn onto the front stretch. They'll head towards what we call the tram lines, get them lined up 2 by 2 by 2, and head towards our start finish.
A lot of hands in the air there, a lot of shoving, it looks like here. A few drivers in the midfield not too happy, but we're going green regardless. Let's go down to turn 1. Ingrata gets into the lead, and I believe Weldon's dropped at least to 3rd. Through turn 2, they're clean. Over to 3. Here we go, coming on out. Ingrata, nice gap over Jorge Ortiz. No, that's the 245. I'm not sure who we had in the Tony kart there. I don't believe it was Ortiz. It was one of the other drivers, and he just had a massive slide job, bogged down the car. That was Fernando Luque. So Luque went for the gap, and all credit to him. Did not pay off. He is back down to 4th, Weldon into 2nd, and a big-time lead for Speed Concepts Racing Speed Lab Engines driver Aiden Ingrata. Then it is going to be Sebastian Weldon, then Michael Costello in the Bennick. Side by side for 4th. They're going into the final corner. That's behind your leader. They've had a change in position as well as Luque has gotten shuffled. Look at Caleb Gaffera. He's into the top 5.
Caleb showing some speed there. Up 3 spots already into the top 5. As you said, he's now in that 4th position. Fernando Luque, even though he had all that issue there, he still comes back around and ends up in that 5th position.
Yeah, look, it's a mad skirmish there for 5th there. Luque still under a lot of pressure. Stephen Miller, the next one, knocking on the door. Here comes Weldon, though, trailing Ingrata. It is a spaced out 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grouping at the front of the field. Ingrata with a nice, comfy lead over Weldon in the JC Karting Cosmic. Then we go back to Costello. Here comes that mad fight through the bus stop and out of it, and it looks like Luque still behind Gaffera, and I think they're fighting with Stephen Miller. He's gotten passed by Leonardo Escorpioni. So Escorpioni now up into the 6th position. Miller down to 7th, and 4th and 5th start to get away. Gaffera and Luque headed to turn 3. Here comes Luque. Oh, and barriers for Caleb Gaffera. Luque, a very late move on the brakes, Caleb Gaffera gets sent nosediving into the outside retaining wall in turn number 3.
Absolutely disappointed.
I don't know if I like that one there, Ron John. That was late. That was very late and unfortunate for Caleb Gaffera. He's able to get out of the wall and get back going. Was inside the top 5.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see that one, I'm sure. Everybody will have videos somewhere along the line here. In the meantime, your leader, the Iceman, Aiden Ingrata, out there in front, the Canadian driver. Sebastian Weldon, though, went purple that last time by. Picked up just a little bit on the leader, about 3/10. Costello hanging on in 3rd. Luque now back up into 4th, and I believe that was Escarponi now. Leonardo has gotten up into the 5th position, up 3 spots now for Leonardo.
Yeah, very nicely done. Oh, yeah, we've got a black flag coming for the 245.
That's
Fernando Luque. So that move there, the officials did not like it one bit. And while they battle behind him, there is a Scorpione losing a spot to Jorge Ortiz. Let's keep it on the flagman here, because we've got the flag coming out for the 245 and a black flag for Fernando Luque. So again, listen, we've talked about it on our podcast. We've talked to a number of drivers. They've been asking week after week for harsher penalties when drivers come in and ruin someone's day. And,
certainly,
you know, Luque, late move, aggressive, and you got to give it to him for trying. But Caleb Gaffera pays the price, and Luque, what are you going to do? 5 seconds, free position, 3 seconds? I mean, it doesn't make up for the fact that, you know, even if he goes behind Gaffera,
right,
you know, he doesn't even at this point, you know, if it really is in the officials' eyes, if the way they see it, just a one-sided ruin someone's day deal, that he deserves to finish the session. So Fernando Luque given a black flag. He's going to get it. I know he pulled in.
He pulled in.
He pulled in. So, yeah, that was obviously for the contact with Caleb Gaffera earlier on in this session.
So in the meantime, that's going to allow several others, obviously, to move up the ladder, like Jorge Ortiz now up into the 4th position. Leonardo Escarponi will be in 5th. Enzo Vidmontian. Hadn't talked a whole lot about Enzo, now up into 6th. Stephen Miller, 7th. G3 Argero's up 3 spots into 8th. Hudson Schwartz. Hudson on the move, up 5 spots right now in 9th. And Christian Cameron up a couple spots, is in 10th. Again, so early in the race as well to make that kind of a move. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You're only a couple of laps into the pre-final of 14 laps, and on the second lap, you're making those kinds of moves just uncalled for.
Yellow flags in the air here through turn number 1 and 2. Not sure what for. Light yellow given, as you'll see, we'll pick up Ingrata. There is Weldon following him. Oh, there it is. One driver just off the side of the racetrack going out of turn number 3 on the infield. So we'll pan to it. There we go. Trying to see who we've got off to the infield. That must have been near the back of the grid that had the issue. But let's look a little closer here, because it's getting closer up front. Sebastian Weldon on his way towards Aiden Ingrata here at the halfway mark. Went purple last time by. 47.51 to a 47.56. So half a tenth chipped off, and now he's inside the drafting window nicely. He'll pull closer. 3.5 car lengths away. Sebastian Weldon getting the signal from his tuner and coach and team owner, Leo Coleman. Stay smooth. You got this. Nice and easy with the hands. Don't overdrive it, because we're just at the halfway mark there. That was the cross flag signal. Ingrata, again, going to have company here in just a moment. Technically already does. Sebastian Weldon, well on the way. Michael Costello, way back there in 3rd. He's got pressure coming himself as well, but let's, again, we'll just keep the focus back and forth between the pairing. Between, again, your top 2, Sebastian Weldon, closing into Aiden Ingrata, and then that massive group behind Michael Costello.
They had taken the halfway flags for sure, and you're right. Oliver is making, getting confused there. It's actually Sebastian, of course, out there on the track right now. And look, that gap now is down to 0.2 of a second. And I couldn't help noticing his instructor there just kind of calmly giving him the signals. It was nice and calm and
doesn't
collected.
Want to freak him
doesn't
out.
Want to freak him out.
He wants to just say, all right, do what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry about it. And again, Sebastian Weldon, obviously hot off a win last week. There's a lot of confidence. It's not a nervousness of not being in this position before. If anything, for Weldon, it would be a matter of almost too much confidence sometimes. You get a little bit too high on your own supply and feeling really, really good that, you end up making mistakes and overlooking things and forgetting that having that kind of underdog mentality and determination to get the win that got you the win in the first place, you lose that when you get a little bit too overly confident. But I think Weldon right now, he's doing everything he needs to do. He's staying close, applying the pressure, not making any mistakes, just waiting for Ingrata to make the mistake. And if not, he's in a great spot if he wants to try and make the pass. Back behind them, there goes that group for third. Jorge Ortiz just out of frame there, was able to get by Michael Costello. So nice move for Ortiz. They come through the backstretch. Ingrata, part length and a half up on Sebastian Weldon as they'll go through the bus stop here once again. This time by, it'll be 4 laps to go, 10 laps complete. Aiden Ingrata, Sebastian Weldon, head and shoulders up on the field here in Junior ROK in Pompano, coming down to a 2-driver fight with the final few laps underway, Ron John.
Without a doubt, I look back down the list, though, because there's still some other guys out there just grinding away, and one of them is Yao Vergara, the Orsalon driver, up 12 positions for Yao. So congratulations to him. In the meantime, it's still Aiden Ingrata, about a 0.2 of a second lead there over Sebastian Weldon, working down the laps. We're heading for 14, working lap number 11 now. 10 in the bank. Just now coming through the bus stop chicane once again. Looks like perhaps maybe some cars towards the...
What a show!
That's what it's all about right there.
That was awesome.
Tremendous. Clean racing between the two.
Look at that. And again, great battle, man. Look how big this train is. There's just gaggle of go-karts we had just come across the line for third. Ron John, I don't know, so much to recap, so much to walk away from that one. Just, again, fights all over. Let's at least bring them through what the top 10 finally looked like after the dust settled.
Wow, Sebastian Weldon ends up taking it. Aiden Ingrata in second. Jorge Ortiz will end up on the third step there, and what a run for Yao Vergara. Up 17.
Full-service driver development program with year-round testing available in Miami, Florida. And the official North America racing team of Parolin Racing Chassis. Chassis and parts available at ParolinUSA.com. If you're looking for top-grade equipment, look no further than Rev Performance Materials engine mounts, sprockets, and arcade chains. Available online now at RevPerformanceMaterials.com and through a dealer near you. The highest quality material, built to the highest quality standards. Rev Performance Materials.
Welcome back here to Pompano, and again, just a sunny Saturday morning, not Sunday morning. Man, it's not going to get any easier trying to trip up and not say that there, but Saturday morning here from Pompano Beach. Of course, my name's Xander Clemens alongside Ron John Eversole. We've got our Caleb Smock floating around down on the grid, getting some intel for you and bringing some interviews here and there where he can. We'll be talking to a lot of our ROK shifter drivers before they go green. First up, though, the VLR Masters here, and Laurentiu Mardan going to lead them onto the racetrack. Ron John, let's take us through the starting lineup for VLR Masters pre-final. It's pretty similar to the heats. Not much has changed so far, especially for the front row. Laurentiu Mardan, Rob Mayer, dominant drivers so far, 1 and 2 in both heat races.
All right, we'll look at the third place driver, the Canadian Jason Abrams, in the 727, Pete Cook. In the 712, it'll be Ruben Cherez, that is, in the 710. Caden Goodrich in the 725, Galo Barrows will roll off in the 771. And and Bruno Sorgia Giovanni will roll off in the 773. All right, well, looks like we have 8, I believe, drivers out there. They'll go 14 laps here for their pre-final. And of course, the class of the field so far this weekend has been our pole sitter, the Romanian driver of Lauren 2 Mardan, of course, USA based now, and talked to him yesterday. Pretty excited about the weekend. Was feeling really good about his kart, to say the least. Also talked a little bit about the disappointment that had happened to him, unfortunately, in Rock Vegas, where he just had a tremendous weekend. And unfortunately, on the opening warm-up lap for the final, something happens to the kart.
Yeah, just tough deal there for Laurentiu Mardan. But hey, redemption well in the works here. 2 more sessions to come for it. Pre-final right now. Main event later this afternoon. Here he comes into the tram lines. And away. Green flag for VLR Master to turn number 1. Mardan, Mayer, everyone this time should be good through turns 1 and 2, and we are. We're green to turn number 3. Laurentiu Mardan leads them. Rob Mayer into second. Jason Abrams into third. And again, great start here for your race leader, Laurentiu Mardan.
It is certainly not something they wanted to see happen like that and allow him to get out there in front, because once he does, he just seems to have enough speed to walk away from the guys. Will the second place driver have anything for him? We'll have to wait and see. Nonetheless, that's Rob Mayer. Rob has been fast himself, but again, sometimes these karts, they get a good clean start and they just have that ability to just continue to slowly but surely make that gap. And already Lauren 2 has stretched it out to 0.6 of a second on the very first trip around the layout here at the Al Capri Casino here in beautiful Pompano Beach, Florida. Lauren 2 Mardan, Rob Mayer, Jason Abrams, Peter Cook. No change amongst your top 4, but look a little bit further down. Caden Goodrich has now gotten around into the 5th position. Gallo Barros up a spot. Looks like Ruben Cheris has dropped back to the back. Not really sure what happened to Ruben, though. It dropped back 3 positions.
Yeah, he had a bit of an awkward start there, so a little bit of work to do here for Ruben Cherries, but we'll see what he can do as he works his way out of the bus stop chicane towards the final corner and down the front straightaway. Laurentiu Mardan continues to show the way.
I wasn't sure if he'd pick up quite a bit. He's only picked up a 10th. Now he's 0.7 ahead of the second place driver, Rob Mayer.
And look at that little pass made. That's just in the inside edge of your top 5. Caden Goodrich losing a spot, I believe. They're battling with Peter Cook, back and forth with Peter Cook there, side by side, the Intrepid driver and Peter Cook aboard the Ricardo chassis. They're just behind Jason Abrams, so that's the fight for 4th, right behind 3rd place in Abrams here. So Cook able to fend that one off. He's close. Could maybe make a move even onto Abrams here out of the bus stop. He does not. They're all going to be single file, trailing the Burrell suit OTK entry of Jason Abrams, while the top 2 stretch away further and further. Laurentiu Mardan and again, Rob Mayer down the front stretch. Long gone here from this grouping of 4. 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th currently on your screen here. 3 laps complete and 11 laps to go in the 14-lap pre-final for VLR Master. Rock Shifter going to be coming up next here before a lunch break for the Rock Cup USA official team. And then, of course, we come back with main event action, beginning with VLR Junior. First thing in the afternoon, I believe at 12:45 or 12:55 is when we're slated to go green. I'll have to check that. Actually, no, I think it's a little bit later. I think we go green at like 1:15.
I believe so.
All I know is our social team for Kart Chaser got it out. The Rock Cup teams, they've been on top of it. They got, Ursula Osteries, man. Eileen, I mean, the whole office crew they've got that manages every bit of the back end that you don't see. I mean, Chuck Yoder, race director, Garrett Potter, Ryan Poupart, faces of the program. I mean, yeah, it looks like they do it. We all know the women are the ones that really make things happen here at the Rock Cup USA crew, and they do a phenomenal job. Those awesome ladies get things up and going, and it's just a massive operation.
They do a tremendous job. Certainly rock our world, that's for sure, and we greatly appreciate everything everything they do for us. You can imagine trying to put together something of this size.
Yeah, this is a massive undertaking.
Certainly
coming
is.
into just a flat parking lot here, obviously. You've got barriers, you've got fencing to work out, you've got, obviously, you need to make sure that you've got some air conditioned, or whether or not air conditioned, at least some units to put timing and scoring, to put your official steward's office, to put all that in, and to be able to put this event on. You see scissor lifts right there just in your screen as Caden Goodrich goes for an attempt on Abrams and around the outside. Ooh, nice move there by Caden Goodrich. Peter Cook now going to go by and down the inside of Jason Abrams into the final turn. So Cook able to get through as well. And we'll watch them side by side to one. Cook gets through, and Abrams way too hot there, tags the wall. And Jason Abrams, unfortunately, going to lose a lot of time out of that. So was running third. Now Caden Goodrich holds that position. P4 for Peter Cook. P5 will now become Galo Barros. And P6 to Bruno Sorgiovanni. That's a mouthful. But, yeah, the Rock Cup team, obviously, they were able to get the timetable out yesterday, so I believe that's posted. We got it updated on all of our social media for Kart Chaser, where you guys can know when we'll come back from that commercial break. And it looks like our Caleb Smock is going to be working to catch up with a few of our shifter drivers. Let's go ahead, and we will send it on down to Caleb Smock. He's down with one driver's had a solid weekend and a great
We're down here on grid with
Vincenzo
Saraceno. You're going to start in the 4th spot. You avoided the mayhem yesterday in that wreck at the start. Tell us mentally how you're going into this one.
Yeah, well, first time I'll be starting on the outside lane. Yesterday I was third in both of the heat races, and first heat I had a little issue with the start, too much wheel spin. Second, tried to dial it back with the throttle a little bit. Didn't work in my favor necessarily. I got a little bog on the start, but with that big wreck, I was still scot-free in the second by turn 1 and just held pace the whole time. And hopefully today I can nail the start better on the outside lane and jump and have a good pre-final and final.
So I know, well, yesterday it was kind of a bit of a hectic start. I mean, it's a wide starting straightaway, but it's still kind of narrow for you shifter guys. Do you have any concerns about that happening again?
No. I think Danny's got it figured out with his engine, hopefully. I hope so, but no, just try to get to the middle of the track and keep my spot, hopefully move up, get to third by turn 1, ideally. But, you know, it's all marbly on the inside, so hopefully I can take advantage of that starting on the outside today.
Are you one of the highest starting privateer drivers? Anybody got to thank for sending you on your way?
Yeah, I got to thank my mom, my dad, VKM Engines, and my mechanic Pepe for putting an incredible car together this weekend.
All right, there you go. Congratulations, or sorry, good luck to you. Hopefully talk to you soon. Take care. Back to you in the booth, Xander.
Thank you, Caleb. Here we're going to tune into the battles on the racetrack because they've changed a little bit. The dynamic especially has changed at the front of the field. In fact, Rob Mayer will get a camera moved over to the leaders in a moment. Is starting to track down Laurencio Mardan. In the meantime, on your screen, Peter Cook, Caden Goodrich, they appear to have pulled a little even, or no, Cook's lost some ground to Galo Barros. So Galo Barros, is that right? Yeah, Galo Barros is going by Peter Cook. And Ruben Cherez, everybody dropping Jason Abrams. Abrams looks like he's pulled into the scale line. So after going wide in turn number 1 and tagging the wall, Abrams, or no, not to the scale, just gotten past. He's all the way to the end of the line. So nonetheless, let's go back up front, though. Here are your leaders. Look at that. Rob Mayer with coming to see 5 laps to go.
I tell you what,
is there.
Came by, it was 6/10 that last time by. Started out at over... Throws his hand up like, hey, here I come.
I don't know. I think that might have been a why is he going so slow? I don't know. I mean, for Laurencio Mardan, let's compare at least his best lap time, a 49.4. He's dropped 4/10 a lap to a 49.8. Whether he's saving the equipment or what, I'm not sure what Rob Mayer was signaling across the line.
Very interesting.
I mean, that's the type of, what are you doing, universal signaling racing. And you know, I don't know if he's anything with what Larry was doing, but Laurencio Mardan pulls that gap back to a couple car lengths and, you know, gets himself back in that safe zone. I mean, he could hang right here at this distance the entirety of the rest of the way, and he'd be fine. So we're going to send it down here to our Caleb Smock. He's with Jake French, rolling off on the front row here for your pre-final.
Down here on grid, pole sitter Jake French. Now, Jake, I got to say, when I was 10 years old at the Rock Island Grand Prix, I saw someone with a baby face who started outside the top 5, finishing third with the Jordan Musters, and everyone else from that era. Now you know how to make it work in a street race. You got pole position, but now you got Danny Formel on the outside of you. What are you doing for this one?
Just gotta play it smart. You know, it's just a pre-final. Yeah, there's points up for grabs, but you know, we want to finish at least top 2, so we have a good starting spot for the final. So we'll race hard, but not, you know, anything too crazy. We'll save for the final. But I feel really good. PSL machine and the Street Tech Power cart's been good all weekend, and we'll see if we can make it happen.
Do you have any concerns? What happened yesterday happened today?
Well, Danny said he did a practice start, so hopefully there's no pileup this time. I feel sorry for my teammate and everybody else that was involved, but hopefully he has it situated. That's not how I want to win a race. You know, I want to actually go head-to-head, so we'll see.
All right, well, good luck to you. We'll get you on your way because we're about to get going here soon. Send it back to the booth with you, Xander.
Well, here we appreciate again all the all access Caleb Smock and Jenna Tommy have been giving us all weekend long down on the grid, man. They've been talking to a lot of drivers, giving everybody here a real inside look of what it's been like here to compete and on the streets of Pompano Beach, and just every bit of more personality. You know, that's the big thing that I think is cool, to be able to put a face to a helmet. That's the biggest benefit of having our interview camera down there, and obviously we want to make sure we don't take away from the on-track action, because we've been keeping our eye on it, waiting for it to potentially heat up. If it's going to, it's going to happen now. Our head flagman Justin Dittrich grabbing the white and checker, the double sticks coming out. 2 laps to go. Laurentiu Mardan leads 2 car lengths back to Rob Mayer here in VLR Master.
Actually picked up about a 10th right there on that lap for Laurentiu Mardan. 3/10 of a second lead now. Caden Goodrich solidly hanging on to that 3rd position, along with Gallo Barros in 4th. As you had mentioned, just got the double sticks at the start finish here. We got 2 more laps around the temporary layout here. Under absolutely beautiful blue sunshiny skies down here in the sunshine state of Florida. The Florida Winter Tour once again now for the 24th year kicking off karting in North America. Gotta love it.
Yeah, 24th year here of the Florida Winter Tour, and white flag coming here. Laurentiu Mardan has been to a number of them, so has Rob Mayer. That's the cool part of talking to some of the Masters drivers. Many of them have been racing the Florida Winter Tour for decades. You know, and been coming through, whether they were former senior drivers or some of them Masters most of the way through, but they've been around for quite some time, and so we always want to give love to them. We like teasing them sometimes, but it's all out of love, of course, for our Masters guys, and, you know, they are a good bit of the backbone for the sport, you know. And they've put on a great show here this weekend. Obviously, Miguel Mir, unfortunate that we lost him yesterday to be unable to compete. I don't want to say lost. No, he's just out of the entry, as we see. Look at that. Rob Mayer, dive bomb, nearly, but he gave a lot of room to Mardan to the outside, and Mardan got back by. So close.
Looked like it might be a drag race here. Is he going to be able to cut
Not going to be enough. Bam! He got caught talking there. I didn't think he was going to be close enough. He hung at that 2 car length gap. As soon as he went, the entire mechanic stand of Rollison Performance Group team members went crazy, like, no way. And it was a heck of a dive. I think if he would have closed the door on the exit, he might have been able to stick it. But you know what? It's a gentleman's class at the same time. These guys are respecting the heck out of each other. And he didn't have to give space to Laurentiu Mardan. He drove it in deep and owned the apex there. Ultimately decided to give it to him anyway. But the checkered flag flying, which means that there is only 1 pre-final left to come here in Pompano, and it should be a barn burner for a number of different reasons. Danny Formal stalled it, looking to make up some lost ground here. He rolls off in the same position he did yesterday, outside of row 1 this time, technically position number 2. Jake French, winner of heat 2, second in heat number 1. Vincenzo Saraceno's been impressive all week. He's got a good starting spot there on the outside of row number 2. Slavik Pushatin getting ready behind him there on the outside of row number 3. Big driver to keep your eye on. David Greco was it the worst out of the incident with Danny Formal. Rolled off 4th, got involved in the wreck, ends up with a DNF. He's going to start midway through the pre-final here and should be a driver on the move. It all comes next. Jake French, Danny Formal, 2 of the best drivers in North American shifter car racing, and really 2 of the best in the world. They're going to lead your field to the green here next.
Kart Store USA is a kart parts supplier that racers and retailers can count on when they need reliable advice and service. We focus on servicing all racers with honesty and pride while maintaining customer satisfaction. We carry a full stock of Kart Republic and Tony Kart chassis, as well as IAMI and Vortex ROK engines. We've also got a host of other parts available and in stock, such as products from Rev Performance Materials, Jecco Racing Seats, and more. We have a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and on top of that, if your order exceeds $200, shipping is on us. Check out all we have to offer today by visiting us online at kartstore-usa.com.
Welcome back here to Pompano Beach, Florida for the Rock Cup USA Florida Winter Tour. And man, it's still beautiful as ever. It's been a great morning, and we're going to get the engines fired here for Rock Shifter. Ron John, let's take a look at the starting lineup for your pre-final for one of the headline divisions in the Florida Winter Tour. Of course, Jake French and Danny Formal are going to lead us off here on row number 1.
Second row is going to be A.J. Myers, two-time Florida Winter Tour champion. And then outside of A.J. will be Vincenzo Saraceno.
Yeah, moving on back here to row number 3, it'll be Gianno Torino. He's had a heck of a week, too. Pretty impressive to the inside of Slaven Pushatin, the European KZ2 driver, joins us with PSL Karting.
All right, up next, the 411 of Antonio Saravalli. And then it's Michael Stevens rolling off in the 444.
Rounding the top 10, Colin Daly in the DR North America DR chassis. The other driver alongside him, David Greco, both collected in the mess with Formal's clutch incident that stalled him on the start. They roll off outside your top 10.
Up next will be Blake Hunt in the 417 and Jason Henrique in the 407.
Talon Yockel and man, Billy Musgrave, he's had a rough week. Rolls off way outside the top 15 in the factory cart number 403. So for you West Coast natives, Billy Musgrave's got a lot of work to do. Another driver to watch. Nathan Nicholson, Josh Conker, Annie Rule, Alan Isambard, Kekai Hawanio, and Mike Rivera taking it to the kids here. He lines up P20.
All right, as you well know, this is a standing start for our shifters. They'll come to a start, get everybody lined up. We'll keep an eye on our officials here. Chuck Yoder, a race official up in front. Looks like we've gotten the all clear from the back of the pack. Keep an eye on the starter.
Here we go, Justin Dittrich. Let's go racing, Rock Shifter style. Fantastic start, Gianno Torino.
Bumper as they head down into turn 1.
Here
He's going to dive bounce to the inside.
Oh, and French tries to cross him up, but Formal, nicely done. Danny Formal, the leader. And look at A.J. Myers. Late move trying to get by on French. They'll put the pressure on. Crossover coming out of it. Not going to happen. A.J. Myers tried to take advantage of Michael Stevens inside the edge of your top 10. Again, that's a great shot here for 9th. Here comes Musgrave. This time,
going to look down to the inside.
Nothing Stevens can do there. Forcefully done. Billy Musgrave gets into 9th. So Musgrave picks off another one from his 16th or 15th place starting position. Billy Musgrave is well into the top 10 and digging for more here. We've also, again, got the update on David Greco. He's moved into 4th, up 6 positions from 10th. So David Greco has rebounded to where he was start and now is looking at a potential second row starting spot for the main event here later this afternoon as we've got 5 laps to go in the pre-final. Billy Musgrave still fending off Michael Stevens. There's Alan Isambard behind him.
Actually continues to pick up just a little bit on A.J. Myers' David Greco. He did a 45 every hundredth, thousandth. They all matter. In the meantime, here comes Danny Formal through the bus stop chicane. Again, pretty comfortable with that 1 point. Well, actually, 0.7 of a second lead. Not quite 1 second just yet. But boy, he's looking awfully strong coming through the dog leg as they head towards 11 and 12. And again, coming down the front stretch here at the Isle Casino layout here at the Pompano Beach here in the great state of Florida for the 24th year of the Florida Winter Tour. And Danny Formal 6th, Billy Musgrave in 9th, and Michael Stevens ends up in the 10th position. Congratulations, Danny Formal, your pre-final winner.
We're going to sign off the mic here, folks. When we come back, it's the main event live stream for the Kart Chaser Premium members, beginning with your VLR Junior main event for Ron Ebersol, Caleb Smock, Jenna Tommy, Kyle Gupperson, and the rest of our crew here live. Kart Chasers coverage of the Rock Cup USA Florida Winter Tour. Main events coming up after the lunch break.